Story-wise, I mean, they didn't really get anywhere after you left. They went out
Yeah.
to raid the camp. Didn't manage to make a tent.
Yeah, we went to the camp, and then bad weather happened, so we had to go back into the cave. And then we had to run from those monsters.
Yeah, I think they failed like 3 camps.
Jesus Christ.
Because I was like, right, we'll just make camp and then we'll wrap it up since he's gone. But then they kept failing making camp.
Yeah, like usually I'm free Saturday and Sunday. Like those are my days, right? You know, nothing's supposed to be happening. And like I just had someone knocking on my door, like pounding on the door, and I go and open it. There's like 5 fucking people out there. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I had that, and then my Tuesday game, one of them didn't show up, which was fine because there's 4 people. But then I had noticed the other person had also left a note saying that they won't be coming.
Oh shit.
Or they did it on the events thing, but they didn't like message me to tell me, so I didn't notice.
Right.
So then we only had 2 people, and I was like, well, fuck, I definitely want to run it, even if it's only 2 people. But we'd only played like 1 session so far, and they were just like, nah, we'll just wait until everyone's there. And I was like, but it's like 2 weeks between sessions for that one. So it's like a whole month. And then because we didn't really play the full thing on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I did a game yesterday, I played in a Cyberpunk Red one that someone was running. And that was like, one of the players was arguing with the guy. The GM was it wasn't bad, but he was very quiet. And the other player was like just hogging the fucking, the limelight and the speaking. And they were obviously, I just instantly, I was like, these guys are all at least 10 years younger than me. And it was just like, it was okay, but I was like, this is not what I want, man. And the whole, I mean, it was like a 4-hour session, and it was just like one map without any kind of like RPing, really.
The most RPing is just them arguing.
Yeah, it really was, man. Because at the start there wasn't all the introducing characters and talking about stuff and getting enveloped in the world. It was like, here's a map, let's do the job. And it was like, okay, it's going to be one of those ones. And they were obviously all D&D players because they were very into like their stats and shit, man. And then Tink had said that you might not make this week, and I was like, oh fuck you, man, we're playing this week. I was like, I am not skipping.
Yeah, I feel you. I was a little upset about that. I having to skip out. But I'm moving, I don't know, maybe in March, something like that. So I was like, fuck, can't really say nothing. They were looking at the house. We had to do a bunch of shit. So I was like,
I've been like that situation before. I've never had someone, because I'm in a rented place, I've never had someone come up and look at it while I'm sitting there. But I've gone to look at places that other people have been in.
Well, that's what I was like. I was like, why? Like, I was talking to her because this is her house. She's selling. I was like, why did you bring them over when I was the only one here? Because she was out at her sister's house. Like, why would you tell them to come over and I'm the only one here? Like, I'm not selling the house. You're selling the house. Like, why would you do that? I was so pissed off. Like, oh my Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It's the thing. It's just when it's a combination of them though in a row. Do you know what I mean? And it's you start going like, I just went to fucking session, man.
You getting the itch? No one was scratching it.
It's not that. I have a schedule. I have all my games planned out for the rest of the year. It's like I don't want to be missing sessions, man.
But you're throwing my next campaign off by a week or 2 weeks now. You're fucking me.
Potentially, yeah.
Are they messing up your tabletop OCD?
It does a bit, man. Yeah. I don't like planning. I'm not a planner. I don't plan shit. But my games are like, because there's so many I want to run, I had to like write them down to make sure I was going to fit in stuff. Because I don't want to be running like 4 or 5 games a week again, because that was exhausting.
See, I'm the opposite. Like, how that was like this out of the blue last minute, automatically it irritates me. I'm already mad as fuck. Like, you're supposed to call and plan that shit out ahead of time. I'm all about planning that shit out. I hate when people just spring something on me last minute.
Oh, I mean, I don't like other people spring anything on me, but that's why I don't talk to anyone.
Well, I try to follow in those footsteps, but it don't always work out that way.
Yeah. No, yeah, life is a habit of stepping in when you don't want it to.
Right. She's all like, hey, like, this person has this thing going on at 6 o'clock. You want to go? It's 5 o'clock. No, I don't want to go at 6 o'clock. Like, why are you telling me about this an hour before? Like, no, I'm not going. Like, fuck you. Because I already had my day laid out in my own head what I was gonna do for the
Yeah.
day. Your 6 o'clock is fucking me up. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I was very spur of the moment. I was that person. I was like, "Right, let's just go out 5 minutes before, and then just grab my
No,
stuff and go out for the evening somewhere at random." But
I
I'm not
couldn't
like
do
that.
that.
I'm not like that anymore, man. But I mean, I don't want to do anything anymore. I just want to sit and
I
play
don't mind
games.
doing shit. Well, play games, but I don't mind doing shit if I'm told like a day and ahead. Like, give me at least
Yeah.
a day. Like, you're so antisocial. No, I'm not antisocial. I want a proper warning. I want a contract that says you have to give me 24-hour notice minimum.
I mean, I am antisocial, but like,
Oh, I am too. But I try to
I'm
pretend like
not a
I'm not.
planner. I always feel like when you plan things out, things that are like events you go to and stuff like that, when you plan them ahead of time, they're never as much fun as things that you just spontaneously end up doing. That's how I always felt. And like now that I'm like planning my schedule ahead of time, I'm just worried that I'm going to die before I get there.
Well, for me, it's like that saying, plan never survives first contact or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, that's true in real life and all those shit you try to plan out, nothing ever works out how you think it will.
totally.
But I still plan anyways because I'm stubborn like that.
Because my other pal, like, you have to book him weeks in advance for a game and stuff. But then he's also the type of person, and he'll just like not do it when he gets close to the time. He'll cancel on you. Because those people I just feel like don't prioritize. They complain they don't get enough time to play games, but they never make the time to prioritize
Hmm.
playing games.
I've missed a few sessions, but if like when I plan it out, I'm doing it usually. Like if I say I'm gonna go to make a game, I'm never miss a session if I can
Yeah.
help it. Like I don't. It's not like I'm feeling sick, so I'm not gonna show up. Like I'll show up sick. I might have to leave early, but I'll show up sick.
I mean, when it comes to sessions, I don't mind people. I mean, shit happens and you don't make them. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. Sometimes I don't run games because I just don't feel like it. But I try to
Right.
let people know ahead of time so you're not just 5 minutes, half an hour before it. You're like, yeah, we're not doing this.
Yeah. I don't feel like it today, guys. Like what? Why didn't you tell me this yesterday? I felt like it yesterday. I don't feel like it today.
I mean, sometimes I've really been like that. I just be like, I can't do it today because I've like not slept for 24 hours or something like that, man.
Right.
But that is
I'm
less and
done.
less often these days because I'm trying harder to have a routine.
Oh, my routine just got fixed. I was all fucked up. I was going to bed at 7 o'clock at night, waking up at 3 in the morning, all kind of weird shit.
I got up at 4 o'clock the other day. I was up for almost a full 24 hours the day before that as well. But I'm getting a lot better at kind of readjusting it after fuck ups.
My whole day gets fucked up if I wake up too early.
Oh, my sleep's just. I've never been a good sleeper.
Well, I can fall asleep at the drop of a hat, like the first time, but if I wake up from sleep, I can't go back to sleep.
See, I have trouble getting to sleep, and then once I'm up, I'm up. So it's difficult.
And that first time, I could be looking at my phone, like watching a YouTube video or something, or like responding to a text, and I fall asleep mid text.
Jesus
No.
Christ, no, I'm not. I don't have that, man.
But if I wake up for any reason, going back to sleep's a pain in the ass. It just doesn't work out most times.
Nah, because I had insomnia, and it was stress related, anxiety related for years. But my sleep schedule is always just weird. I think I read about a thing before, and it's like some people their circadian rhythm is like offset by like an hour or two. So over time, your sleep patterns like slips until you kind of like reset it again, and that very
Right.
much feels like what mine's is like. And it's always been really difficult for me to stay in any kind of a schedule. But it's gone a little better. It was when I was exercising regularly, it was fixing itself, and I think that had a lot to do with like your hormone levels and stuff.
Hmm.
But I have not been exercising regularly yet.
When I worked in the oil field, I had my shit down on a schedule, like to the dot. I couldn't stay up past midnight, and I couldn't sleep in past 4:30. It just wasn't happening. Either one of those. It was like 12:01. I was on the couch, passed out, tired as fuck. Like it just
Was that a very
how it was.
physical job?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best, man.
Well, I mean, so I worked. It was like an hour and 10-minute drive to get to work. So that's like 2 hours and 20 minutes drive time every day. So I was gone from the house like anywhere from 13 to like 15 hours, depending on how
Jeez.
short or long the workday was.
It's a long shift as well.
Yeah, we worked 10 to 12 hours, depending.
Jeez, that's a long shift.
So like I get home, I still try to do stuff with my girl at the time. So I was only getting like 4 hours of sleep, but I needed that 4 hours. If I didn't get that 4 hours, I was fucked.
Was that like a 4-day week kind of thing?
No, I usually end up working like 6 days a week.
Jesus.
Um,
That's hardcore, man.
I made a lot of money. But she put me in a lot of debt. Let me tell you.
I've had a lot of friends. I've had a couple of friends, and they're like, women burn up all their money and shit, and I'm like, why?
Yes.
Why are you picking people like that? I've never had that
Because
issue.
because I just couldn't say no. That's why I had a bad habit of not saying no.
Yeah, I had a friend previously, and he wasn't a woman hater, but he had a lot of anger because of past relationships. And it's like, but if you keep picking horrible people, you're going to have horrible experiences.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I'm done eating. Yeah. But we can wait if he's going to be here in 10
I
minutes.
know, I mean, you can start, you can hop in, you can figure out what you want to do. So what happened was, yeah, they tried to make camp a couple of times, including inside the caves, but close at the entrance where you'd initially came in the first time, from the other side of the mountains. Unfortunately, while you were all sleeping, and they did have the animation standing guard, the ghouls, like a swarm of them, came into the chamber.
Did they survive, or did he make more?
I think I have 2 left.
Oh, well, good for them.
Do you have 2? I thought you had 4.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, because 2
I'm still very
lost 2.
impressed.
Well, they were eating the bodies, and but they weren't really attacking like the animations themselves.
Could they tell that it was dead or something? That's interesting.
One of the animations, at least, is just the armor, the clothes now. The body that was inside it is gone. But
Did I start with 6?
Yeah, you started with half a dozen.
Yeah,
I know that much.
yeah, it's 6.
I was there for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure down to 4, but one of them is just doesn't have the body in it anymore. Any other bodies are all kind of like roughed up and cut and bitten and everything. So yeah, they tried making camp there. That didn't work, but they did a fire trick. I think they threw oil in the fire, and it kind of flared up, and that scared them off pretty much. So then they came out the other side, and they made their way down to the head of the river, or just before it in the woods, and they made camp there. And once again, the animations took watch, so they could both rest. But that time they actually succeeded, and the night went perfectly fine. So it'll be the next morning from that point that you're down there at like the mouth of the river.
Is the objective still to head to Branch Patch, or we headed all the way to the last outpost?
We'll probably need to stop at Branch Patch.
Obviously, you travel quicker by river, so
Right.
yeah. I mean, going to Branch Patch isn't as long a journey, or it's about the same probably. But I mean, you could just head off kind of east across the flats, the plains, if you wanted to. I'm not sure what everyone's situation was for supplies and whatnot.
I'm at 3 supplies and 3 gear.
I only had 1 supply marked when I got off last, so I don't know how that would work.
Well, you would mark 1 for making camp.
Alright, so I have 2 supplies marked then. So whatever's a 4-day journey or less, I suppose.
Let's see, branch patch.
3 days for him.
So I think it's 3 days by river to the dam, and then another day or two up to branch patch from there. But because the dam is in the way, you would have to stop the journey there and then make a second journey. If you were to head out on foot, it is 6 days journey, roughly, across the open tundra.
So we'd want to go to Beaver Dam anyways, and we'd have to hunt/forage for supplies.
Yeah. Well, we can probably try to fish along the river.
But yeah, obviously if you want to take the river, someone will need to spend a gear for a boat as well.
Well, I've been doing that, so I can do that again. So since our supplies aren't at 0, we wouldn't get the we get like the fresh start or whatever, the extra dice from that, or would we not get that because we?
I mean,
don't
if
have...
you want to try and stock up supplies before you leave, you can do like fishing and hunting and stuff.
Well, I don't have any relevant skills to help with that, so that would be all on him.
All right. How fast is the river?
Well, you're at the mouth of it, the head of it, as it comes down from the mountains. I imagine it's a bunch of streams, underground streams, that just surface here and then start the river. And so it's probably pretty fast at this point, although it's probably not particularly deep or strong.
Are there a lot of fish in the river?
There would definitely be fish in the river, yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna turn into a bear and go into the river.
It's certainly like
And just
icing
start-
over at this time of year.
I'll just stand on the edge and just swipe the fish out of the river.
We got an ice fish. Is that what you're telling me?
Do you need to roll to transform, or is it just rolling for the activity once you've transformed? I can't remember.
Would it be both?
Is it a spell?
Yeah, the shapeshift spell.
Okay, so roll for the spell first. I guess we can.
Are we still in the camp we had earlier?
Yes, you would be. Yeah, I mean it's safe and everything else, so yeah. We can probably combine this
foolhardy
into the
help
one
with
roll.
this? Would this be a foolhardy roll?
I don't think so.
No, you're not foolhardy. This is a fairly obviously thing. Do you want to roll a d6? We'll see how many fish you catch. Or how many fish worth of. Okay, so 5 supplies.
Alright, so I guess we'll both fill up our supplies, or should we
Okay.
save 1 or 2 for Tink?
Would he need to use supplies for this trip since he's not here, or we like still?
Depends when he shows up.
Yeah.
I guess why don't we both take 2 and use the last one for him for the trip?
Sounds like a plan to me. That puts me at 0.
Yeah, so you turn into bear, and it probably doesn't take you long to get 5 supplies worth of fish. It's still early morning when you're finished doing that. Imagine your automations are just standing by the shoreline watching you. Or just, well, they would be watching you if they had eyes.
The facing his general direction.
Yeah. Lifelessly just like standing there. Imagine you just throw a glance every now and again back up the trail of snow towards the mountain foothills where you came from, just to make sure none of those things are crawling out after you.
Yeah, we don't want them to keep coming.
I feel like that'd be something I would especially be worried about.
Yeah, but I mean the river this time, as we said, like winter's really kicking in now. It is icing over, and it's probably not a good idea to wait too long to start sailing up the river before it ices over.
The return trip's gonna suck. Alright, so I guess we'll do a journey vault to Beaver Dam. So we're not fresh, but we do know where we're going, kind of. Destination is known, I suppose.
Well, you're not fresh because someone's wounded, I think, still anyway.
Right, right.
Are you prepared? Have you got all your supplies, both of you?
Well, if he takes all three, he does. If he only takes two, he don't.
I'd only have one spot left, one supply.
Well, why don't you just take the extra supplies so that you're prepared?
Okay.
I mean, he isn't here, so it doesn't make sense penalising you for that. You're not going by night. It is... Have you been up the river as far as Beaver Dam before?
I will say I have, probably. At one point in my
So,
job for the chief lady.
sure, so it's not unknown, it's not particularly treacherous. It will be more than a day, so you will lose 1 dice.
So I should have 6 dice to roll.
Oh, that's not good territory for you. You want at least 8 or 9.
Well, so I get 4 from my skill, 1 from my trade. The free one you get. I mean, we gain 1, but then we lose 1, right? So
Yeah.
back to 6. Because we were fresh, so we gained 1, but then we lost 1 because it's more than a day or whatever. Ah! I love it.
Just... What are you doing?
Don't ask me, dude.
Every time, man. If he got his first roll full success, it's like, okay, this is going to be a normal kind of game. But no Drax playing, so... Can't have successes.
You know, I do like to struggle.
Okay, so the journey ends before it starts. So you did mark fatigue for the journey. Everyone's going to take a stress. Let me see what makes sense here.
Oh, perfect timing. He just crashed the boat.
I was gonna say something about the ice is forming over, so we can actually have like a safe path to go on the boat. So maybe the boat gets damaged, we need to stop.
What I'll be doing is pre-rolling like some of the dangerous disasters that can happen, and then just picking ones that kind of suit the situation we're in when it comes. So I think the most suitable one would be the freezing fog. So you set off in the morning, sort of mid to late morning. After you've done your fishing, the weather's good, the sky is clear, it's quite sunny, there's not a lot of wind. It's kind of icy on the water, but it's not too bad. You're maybe half a day down the river, so like a tile or so on the map. When it becomes noticeably more overcast, there's a chill settling in the air, permeating your clothing. And there's no breeze to kind of, it's not like a cold wind that's coming in, it's just the temperature is lowered. And you can see that this sort of thin mist is forming across the water. And before you're more than a couple hours along through that, it's become this really thick, dense, pea soup, grey mist fog. Your visibility, you can't even see the shoreline, and the water hasn't even opened up to the larger part of the river yet. You're completely blinded with no sense of direction for when it's going to turn or twist. And you can hear the sound of like crashing water, and you know there's a rapids coming up or a small waterfall of some sort because you passed it before on the way up here, but you don't know exactly which direction it's coming from. You don't know how soon it's going to be before you hit it. and before you know it, your boat is kind of rocking to and fro, up and down, and you find that it's like bumping over and down these little miniature waterfalls. You can hear the board splitting against the rocks as it kind of like unexpectedly goes over one and crashes down on the side. The three of you are like tipped over and sent flying into the freezing water.
You know what our first mistake was? We waited till it was a
When you
perfect
roll.
day. No, we waited till it was a perfect day to make the journey. We know better. I roll like shit, so we gotta wait till like it's like a snowstorm falling down on us or something, and then we go.
So everyone, I'm going to say, take a cold from the water. Because it's icy at this time, obviously. Visibility is next to 0. You can only see maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of you. The water's freezing. You're in the rapids, so the water is fast and flowing. There's rocks everywhere, and the current's going to take you under, and who knows if it'll drag you under like a sheet of ice, and then you'll really be screwed. So what do you want to do?
I want to turn into a fish.
It's not the worst idea.
Would that be foolhardy in the rapids?
I don't think turning into a fish is foolhardy. Because that's actually quite a good idea. And your cam could play into it though, because you're not panicking.
So would that be 1 more dice?
If you want, yeah. Yeah, it didn't help.
It didn't help.
Oh my god, it's good this way.
It's okay.
I'm going to say you take an extra stress. Because it's a stressful situation.
Do I still get the cold?
Yeah, because the initial sort of splash into the water is going to be the thing that gives you the chill, the cold.
Okay.
But yes, you managed to turn yourself into a fish before you drown or are dragged onto the ice. What
I
about
imagine
Is everything working here? Yeah.
your mic's terrible, but yes.
I would just try to get back to the boat, and then I guess try to steer myself to the edge, to the bank, so I can at least try to keep that in sight, or just
you-
get out of the river completely.
Okay, do you have any kind of skill that would relate to swimming in these kind of conditions then?
Sailor.
That would work, yeah.
It's just one, so I'll just get the 1 dice, right?
Do you have survivalist? That would also apply.
Do what?
Survivalist.
I don't have survivalists.
Okay. Well, there you can use your sailor.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm going to say take another cold. You struggle, you try to pull yourself over to the overturned boat to try and crawl on top of it and drag yourself out of the freezing water. But you've only been in the water for a few seconds and you can feel your muscles seizing up because of the icy temperatures already, and you're floundering in the water. It's sapping the stamina, the energy from you, and you find your chest becoming tight because of the cold and you're gasping for breath, struggling to keep your head above the waves as the rapids kind of like pull you further down the river. What about...
Is that working now?
Yeah, it's better. I'll just turn you up a bit. Yeah, so you're in the water as well, Tank. You took a cold. What would you like to do? Runic. You set up.
Well, I guess while we wait for him, since I couldn't make it on the boat, if I used a gear, like use one of my gears, could I get some kind of item to help me, like some kind of flotation device? Given
Yes.
that I was
Yeah.
a sailor skill.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, so I'll use a gear slot, get some kind of like lifesaver or something. At least I won't go underneath the water, even though I might get hypothermia or something.
Yeah, I mean, when the boat tips over, all the stuff gets tipped out. Maybe even though you're freezing up in this situation, something kind of just like floats by you, like you said, a sort of wooden lifesaver or something like that that he's had on the boat, and just by sheer luck, it kind of like floats by in front of you and gives you something to grab onto. So
And like
still stuck in the water, probably.
still stuck in the water, but at
Yeah.
least now I'm not drowning.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you can get out of this before you get hypothermia.
I think my goal would still be the same. I would still try to head to like shallow water to the embankments.
Sure, so maybe just like kicking with your feet, trying to like get yourself past the rapids over to the shoreline.
Right. And not really. I wouldn't be fighting it. I guess I would like go on at an angle, letting it still
Go
push
with the
me down
current
the
until it kind of evens out a bit, and then, yeah, that's the best thing to do. Is that you working now, Tink?
Think so, I'm just checking. Is that all? Hear me better?
I can hear you.
I think that's all. It was just the mix up between the systems. Right, so boat capsized. We're all drowning basically, or
Well, no,
they're
El,
drowning.
El,
Well,
Aladdin.
one guy's the fish, so he's fine.
Yeah, he turned into a fish. He's okay.
It doesn't surprise me.
If Evander managed to grab onto something to float along with, so he's not going to drown.
I just might catch hypothermia before I make it out.
Yeah, he just might freeze to death.
So
But we're no,
nowhere near any shore or anything.
well, you're in the middle of the river, or you think you're in the middle of the river because you had these rapids, but the fog is so thick you can't even see the shoreline. So knowing which direction to even go in is difficult.
Yep.
But you are flung into the water, you'll take a cold. What would you like to do?
Right, let's see. What may help here? Can you still sort of see the boat or anything where we capsized or anything?
You can
or is
see
it-
the boat's been capsized and it's floating in the water. I mean, it's smashed. It's going to get swung around and crushed against the rocks as it goes downstream. But so are you.
saying I try and use fire an arrow and rope, try and pull myself towards sort of the wreckage, but also so I can get an impact on the rocks. I can use them for sturdiness, so I don't get dragged away as much.
Okay, so are you just shooting the bow and arrow kind of blindly off to the side, hoping it hits something?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, give me an archery shot.
I just check my stats now. Been a while since I looked up.
You bumped your archery last time, I think, before the end.
Archery's at but I've got a health minus, so that minus is my extra dice I get normally.
Mm-hmm.
All these fails, does I can
So-
level up next time we make camp.
I'm trying to think, can I use Sharp Eye for this?
It's not going to help here because the fog is obscuring your view.
Yeah, nothing else will help with that, so... Okay.
Any other kind of disaster, the sharp eye probably would have helped. Yeah, I'll say, yeah, you shoot the arrow off to the side. You're not sure what it's attached to, what it's wrapped around, but when you tug on it, it feels firm. You know, it holds tight and takes your weight. I'm going to say you can drag yourself off to shore with it, but you are going to take another cold as that's happening.
No problem.
And probably as you kind of drag yourself to shore, you feel like fish wiggling between your feet, your legs, which of course is Aladdin. You get to the shore and you turn around and you can just about make out the dark shape on the top of the water of Evander holding on for dear life as he's pulled downstream.
I'll try and reach and grab him, pull him out.
I'm pretty sure I'm way down there. You'd have to have a long reach for that.
You need to, yeah, you need to use a gear for something, I would think.
How deep is the river?
It's probably not too deep. Deeper than you can stand up in the centre at this point. But it's more so the speed of it because it's through the rapids at this point. So it'd be hard for you to like stand still in it against the current.
Alright, I'm going to get under Evander. And I'm going to transform into a cave bear so he's launched out of the water.
Oh, this is gonna end perfectly. I can see it already.
Okay, so we're going to want your fish roll again. I mean, it's both transform anyways, but the transform roll to get there and get in position, and then another roll for your bear.
I'm guessing calm would help again.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, perfect position. I don't know if Evander can even feel his legs at this point as this fish maneuvers between them.
And I guess since I'm a fish, I can't eat a supply, can I?
No, not at this point.
So my fatigue goes all the way up.
And then it's another roll for the bear.
Yeah.
I'm going to say take a cold, I think. So you turn into a bear, you get position, you pull him up probably on your shoulders. I mean, you're not going to like catapult him out of the water. You're going to raise him up on your shoulders out of the water. You can probably stand like chest height in the water. And you're so large and heavy, the rapids aren't pushing you away like they would a human being. But you will take a cold because of just the intensity of how low the temperature is in the water. But I think with that, you could probably wade to shore with him up on your shoulders. And of course, Evander, you're just, woof, this massive bear's underneath you.
You know, normally I would probably freak out about such a thing, but he's turned into this bear multiple times now, so I think I'm just getting used to it at this point.
Yeah, because this is the 15-foot cave bear.
Yeah, so like...
I don't know if you want to give me another roll with animation to see if any of your animations make it out of the river.
I'm guessing I wouldn't take a fatigue for this.
No, because it's not you that's doing it, it's them.
No, they're all just sitting at the bottom. They don't know what to do.
Yep. I guess the weight of the armor, more than anything else, just kind of sinks them to the bottom of the river, where they will spend an eternity. Or until some poor hapless soul tries crossing the river and all these animations start grabbing at their feet. Probably some of them are like smashed against the rocks and just obliterated.
All the pieces are just trying to wriggle themselves back together.
Yeah.
Like an iron giant.
You're still getting XP for that though.
I'm already at full.
Yeah, so much colder, shivering, and having lost the ship and whatnot, you all make it to shore. After some time, you can probably like fish out the gear and supplies that you would have lost otherwise, so you don't lose any extra. I check back in the map. You only moved one tile before that happened.
You know, the last game we played, I took lost because I wanted to fail all these rolls and get lost all the time, and I never got lost. And this time I wanted to pass them because I got like 4 points in my skill, and I just fail them all the time instead.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't.
I rolled 6 dice. I was just like, at
Lost.
least one of them's got to be a success.
Well, I mean, clearly Alex is just taking all the successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're like half a day down the river, and you're now on the shoreline. The fog is still present. You know, it's only maybe early afternoon still. So you could try again today if you want to wait for the fog to lift. But you are freezing cold and soaking wet, so you might want to like make camp and dry off. It's up to you.
But so our fatigue, we wouldn't be able to handle another travel. Unless his reset and then he's empty, of course.
I'm at 1 since I turned into a bear after.
I've only just joined you, so I'm only at 1 just now, fatigue.
I'll leave it up to y'all. I got 2 cold. So I can still roll again, don't matter to me. But do you guys want me to roll again?
Just trying to think, if we rest, then technically, no, it won't be fully, because we're damaged by like 2 cold each or anything, so even if we rested, it wouldn't get rid of all the cold. So,
And you will continue to take cold if you don't dry off.
so the next journey might take us cold to the edge, in which we'll lose health in the end. So we're probably better trying to camp possibly first before heading off.
Alrighty, we got the camp full.
Can't be any worse than the camp rules we previously had, so don't worry.
Jinxed it.
Sweet baby Jesus, help me out here.
Alright, who wants to roll for camp?
What was scout plus sharp eyes, so 4. Then the free one would be 5. Do we lose a dice for any reason? Try to make camp.
Since you asked, sure, lose a dice because use of freezing
Sure.
cold and the fog limits your visibility. Sorry, I'm still laughing.
I'd say I'm in shock, but I can't really say that.
No, I roll now expecting to fail every time.
Yeah, so you freezing cold, shivering, set out to look around and start try and make camp. I'm gonna say all 3 of you take another cold.
I'm already ahead of you. I've already marked it.
Yep. And as you're kind of like stumbling around in the fog, you can feel the ground just like shaking. You can hear just like the rumble of thunder, but it's not coming from the sky. It's coming from out somewhere in the fog. And it's getting closer.
I wonder what could it be?
That cave bear coming around too. Oh, we killed that cave bear. Maybe one of its kin.
You have a moment to do something before you know for certain what it is.
I'm gonna hide behind a tree.
I'm
Is it?
gonna sort of hide and prep my bow and
behind-
arrow.
Yeah, is there anything to hide behind, like a big rock or a big tree?
I don't know. Yeah, there'll probably be some rocks because you're near the rapids, so there probably would have been some rocks around. There's definitely trees around, so if you wanted to hide behind one or climb one or anything like that, you could.
You know, I don't think climbing's gonna be in my best interest. I'm just gonna hide behind one.
So it's 2 of you hiding behind trees / rocks. Are you just readying your bow and arrow?
I'll raise my bow and arrow, but I'll try and maybe get a position in the tree or something if I can.
Okay, so you also want to get up in the tree. Why don't you give me a roll for getting up in the tree?
What would that be classified
Or,
for? Then?
actually, rather than climbing it, why don't you just take a fatigue for the action?
Okay.
If Aladdin and Evander, if you guys have any kind of skill related to reacting quickly or positioning of some sort, you don't need to take a fatigue for it, but if you can make me a roll with it.
Calm?
Cam would definitely apply, yeah. Sharp eyes would
so-
also help.
Would survivalist work with that?
Yeah, survivalist would be a good one.
Yeah, fighter. Would that help? That'd be work. Well, never mind. They weren't all my successes, so it don't matter what I roll.
I don't think fighter would apply. Maybe like survivalist, scout, something like that.
Scout. I got scout too.
But Eladin, you got Eladin, Aladdin, however pronouncing it. Oh, 2 crits.
We're both fine.
Oh, sure. Yeah, now I pass.
Well, it's probably just because the thunder quickly turns into the clear sound of hundreds of heavy hoofed animals stomping on the ground, thundering towards you, and this stampede of giant woolly rhinoceroses just comes tearing out from the fog, wailing and roaring as they do so, smashing into the trees and underbrush, flattening them all around, smashing into like some of the smaller rocks and just sending the pieces flying. You just like stand firm and hold tightly onto the trees as these massive creatures charge past you. and this massive stampede crashes into the river and starts working its way across in the blinding fog. Had you been standing where you were standing a moment ago, you would surely have been crushed to death. But as it is, you all remain unscathed as the stampede charges past hundreds of these massive creatures, and then soon enough you're left again in silence with the stampede making its way across the river and further across into the tundra east.
Maybe just shoot one of them, like the ones at the end of the stampede.
A straggler?
To try and get some food supplies.
Sure, why don't you?
Would that be Archer then?
Yeah.
I also had
can-
something I wanted to try.
Were you also going to try to jump on one of them?
Yes.
I'm not jumping on, I'm shooting one so we can have something to eat.
Right, but my thought process was like usually like the weak or the young or like or the slow are
The
kind of like on
stragglers,
the
yeah.
kind of on the end. So I was gonna try and like get one of those because I had the fighting skill too.
Well, why don't you do your shooting first and then we can see if these idiots
Yeah.
get crushed to death.
I don't know why, but I had a feeling that would be a lander more trying to do something like that than you, but okay.
I mean, I do have the skill foolhardy, so
I mean, you did him say you wanted to do that too, right? So that is still his plan. We're both gonna try it.
Okay, first then, let me shoot and see if I can make some food for us. So, my 3 from Archer and my sharp ply, so that's 4.
And then your default one.
Default's negative because I've got a minus health on me just now.
Okay, sure. Oh, success. Why don't you give me a D6 roll? All the crits, man. 3 crits in a row. Yeah, that rhino is going to be enough for 4 supplies.
Sorted, that fills me up.
It's very likely a sort of younger, skinnier one at the end of the herd, so it's not quite as bountiful as the rest. But you're able to skewer it with a couple of arrows, more than one definitely, to take it down.
I had 6 arrows, so I've put it down to about 4.
Okay, so if you idiots want to try and jump on one, take a applicable skill. It's going to be difficult, so you'll be down 1 dice. These are not easy animals to get aboard.
Could I use while he's doing? So I'm gonna let him go first, but I want to try to use like a gear slot, use rope or something for like a.
Sure, you can use that to negate the difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah.
What method are you using, Eldon? Aladdin.
I want to transform into the biggest one that I saw, and then ram into one of them.
Okay, so you're just trying to kill one.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Why'd ride an animal when you can turn into it? Alright, would any of my traits work for it?
Foolhardy can apply to this one since you're itching to use it. These are not the kind of animal to fuck with. Yeah, so you do successfully transform into a woolly rhino. You charge towards one of the other ones, but unfortunately for you, it is a male and it is in heat. It is more than willing to accept the challenge. And as you charge towards each other and lock horns, this thing just skewers you in the shoulder and you take an injury. Causing you to, you kind of like, with an injured shoulder, you're no longer able to like charge its speed, and it just kind of like wards you off with a victorious kind of round of showing off and huffing and puffing before it runs off to join the rest of the herd. Evander, you pull out your rope to try and lasso one.
With that, since he did that one, that would probably like distract that one a little bit. So I'm gonna actually try to capture that one or provide that one. Take advantage of his momentary distraction here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a trait that would apply. I don't think anything would, unless sharp eye or hidden depths would apply to something like this. I wouldn't think so.
What's the description for hidden depths?
I don't have it up to read it,
It's
but
it's like really you're pulling in your inner strength and core, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, like resourcefulness, pretty much. Like this stuff that even you didn't know you could do, or something like that.
Drawing on your inner spite that's carrying you through everything.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the world's fucking me, so
Since you're
trying to
like
fuck it up.
freezing, probably going to suffer from hypothermia. Okay, I'll let you use that one.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's see what I got here then. And then I negate the.
At the risk of a worse injury afterwards. Okay, the turnaround will be luckier then.
You know, I can't get us nowhere. Don't count on me for that. But apparently, I can do something stupid.
Okay, do you want to describe your critical success in capturing this beast?
So it skewered him, right? So it skewered him, knocked him to the ground, and it was like showboating, whatever, for the second there. And then like out of nowhere, the lasso kind of like catches it in the mouth, you know, and like around the head. And it when it goes to showboat, slings me up on top of it, and then I just want to like ride it out until it tires out, like you were baking a bronco.
Yeah. So it runs to join the stampede, maybe try to drown you in the water or something, and you just like tug on it with your strength and determination, turn it around, and you're just taking it in circles around the trees until it's worn out.
You know, because it had a victory, so I had to show it up, because I can't be the only one suffering around here.
Yes, you wear it out until it's just kind of subdued, and then you have it under your control.
It's gonna be my new cuddle buddy. I guess I'll thank Eladin for helping me out there.
Just Ellen just sits against a tree and just waves his hand over his wound to heal himself. Or tries to.
The look has changed.
Get them all out now before we get to a bigger problem.
And then I'll eat 2 supplies to restore 2 fatigue.
Yes, exhausted, cold, and done over. You just kind of like sit against the tree and pull out some of your rations to chew on. Runic comes over with 4 big slabs of rhino meat.
Just eating it right in front of us.
Eating
I am
his,
actually, yeah.
eating his raw heart.
To lower my fatigue, I'm eating on a bit.
Well, wait, instead of wasting all our supplies, why don't I just cook some food in our ruins of a camp?
Well, he's never made camp. That's the problem. He completely failed it.
I got roll that again, don't I?
Yeah. Anything you had
Yes.
constructed, the stampede is just destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
So start over.
Yeah.
Starting over for a new camp now, so we don't freeze to death.
All right. Let me. Anyone else want to dive over camp, or are you still leaving this to me?
Well, I think you're the only ones got skills for camp. My things don't apply to it, I don't think.
I think your skill is better than mine. I have survivalist too.
Depending where you are, scout can work, survivalist can work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Alright,
none of mine then.
I'm about to roll again. All right.
Hide behind the
What's not-
sofa.
All right. So.
Oh, he is. There's a little marker in Roll20's like memory It's just
It's like this guy's failed with like 8 dice. Let's just give him a little bone here.
yeah, you
Let's-
like earned how many successes at this point. It's just giving you more like a slot machine paying out on.
Oh Jesus.
Ding 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 ding.
So
I
with
guess
a,
I'm in. I
with-
guess I'm like reinvigorated because I now got me my first mount.
so with a critical success, everyone recovers an extra rest, relax, or reheat when they take one. So when you use rest, you'll get an extra rest. If you take a ration, you'll get like an extra fatigue back. I guess since the stampede's been through, you know for certainty nothing else is coming through here because it's all been destroyed.
I guess I'll try to cook something now.
Yeah.
So are you saying we want to get like one or the other? Would we? So we get a rest and a reheat, or just one or the other?
Okay, so when you've made camp and you take a ration, normally a ration just gives you your fatigue back. But when you
Right.
make camp and you take a ration, you also get a cold restored and a stress restored because because you've got the fire and you're relaxing. But this means you're getting an extra one on top of that.
Okay, gotcha. So if I had 3, I'm down to 1, pretty much.
Well, if you were 3, you get 2 back because you would
Right,
get
so
the 1
I-
back you normally get back, plus you get an extra one. But it's
Yeah,
not
so
just
if I-
one clock it applies to; it applies to all 3 clocks.
Yeah, because like, so I had 3 in fatigue and 3 in cold, so I'd be down to 1 cold and 1 fatigue.
Yeah.
Does that cooking give us an extra fatigue off as well?
Yes, an extra fatigue or an extra stress, your choice. And cooking is obviously just the one ration does that for everyone.
Yeah. Though now I'm low on supplies.
So also someone will have the opportunity to tell a campfire tale.
Who hasn't got to do 3 yet?
I got 3 traits, so
I think we've done
You-
everyone
I think it's
twice
your
now.
turn, Amanda, because we've had 4 so far.
Because I have
Me
4
and Eldon
traits.
had. Yeah, me and Eldon did a few from the last session, so it's your turn, I think, for getting one.
So I guess I'll do where do you find joy? And as I just explained, because like I was suffering, so I had to make this animal suffer with me by capturing it after his moment of joy. I find joy in the pain of others. I just realized this like this just happened to me. Like I'm coming to an epiphany. Like ruining this animal's day made my day so much better. And I think I had like a huge epiphany today, guys.
I love how Vanda's just like this horrible, spiteful, twisted, bitter person.
I need to sleep with a knife behind my pillow now more often.
Oh, I mean, the 3 of you are just like horrible people, man.
Well,
Paladins are great people. He
I'm
heals
not-
people. He brings their stuff back to them.
like I'm not trying to make you guys suffer because you're already suffering with me when like all this bad journey's over. So you're already suffering with me. You're safe. It's the other people out there that are having joy in their life and are being happy, and I just don't like that.
Like those bastards.
Yeah, why can't I have that? So I think I've had an epiphany today. A breakthrough in my character development.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so what trait are you taking for that?
I gotta look at the traits again. I need to pull up that page that had them all on it.
Also, because obviously you're making camp, if you have full XP, you can level up.
Alright, should I level up shapeshift or reanimate?
I leveled up Rider because it just made sense to me.
I don't know, you use both of
guess I
those
could level up
spells
other
pretty
spells.
often. Sorry, what did you say, Alex?
I guess I have other spells I can level up. What do you think? Should I level up shield or heal to level 3?
You've used heal more often than shield, I'd say. So
All right, I'll level up heal to level 3.
And you are all able to get a long rest, which is restoring 2 fatigue. And then because it's a critical success, you'll get an extra fatigue back on top of that.
I guess I'm gonna take skeptical maybe. It's either that or scarred. I thought bitter maybe. Bitter or skeptical. What
Well,
do
I
you
mean,
think?
if you don't have bitter already, I think you have to take bitter.
I don't have bitter already, so I think bitter it is.
Because
And then-
last time your description was very much bitter.
There we go. I got bitter.
And then you
Your
get
bitter old
skeptical
goat,
next time. So it's just like this bitter, twisted, spiteful bastard. Yeah, but despite all that, it actually turned out pretty well for you in terms of recovery. You lost the boat, but you gained a woolly rhinoceros, which I was hoping I had a picture for, but I don't actually have one.
Was that reminds me? You described them as massive, and they charged across that river. Is that big enough for all three of us to fit on, or two of us? Since what's his face can just transform into whatever he wants.
So it was a straggler, so it's not. It's a younger male, I would say, but
Right.
yes, it's still a huge creature, so you could definitely all fit on its back, and it can definitely make its way across that river. And by the time you made camp and rested, the fog will have cleared.
I'm not so much worried about making it across the river, but we could take it the journey to the place, and maybe it would be easier on us because we're not doing the walking ourselves.
I can give you some maps so you can plan ahead.
Oh yeah, so we would have to
nice.
forward across the river, then just go by land to Branch Patch.
Yeah, this rhino is our new boat.
So it is 6 days across land.
Would it not be faster with that, or is it still 6 days?
You can maybe save a day because you go a little faster. It's more the fatigue you're sort of saving on.
Right. Well, I do not have enough supplies to make a 5-day trip at the moment.
But you can obviously do the hunting and fishing before you set out to stock up.
I've got 5 supplies available. We need so it needs a supply per day, and it's going to cost us about 6 days. So technically, there's no way we can make it really across that far a journey.
So remember, if you run out of supplies before you get there, you just start taking like injuries and stuff. So it's not that you can't make it; it's just that it's more difficult.
Well, my next thought would be, what about headed down to Pass Village? That would be a 2-day journey, right? And then from Pass all the way to Branch Patch.
Yep, that's a
Longer.
I'll let you guys talk. I'll stop suggesting.
I think
It
it
did
does.
go to Pass. Whatchamacallit, it is a slightly longer journey. It's actually 7 days from Pass if we're taking it through river and that, and then there's a dam obviously between that, so there's even more issues. I think just to progress further, I think we're better just chancing it and heading straight across.
That's fine with me. You guys want to do your hunting and survivalist first, and then make the trip?
Sure.
I'll just leave it up to you.
I
If you
do.
don't want to, we can just roll and then do it afterwards.
I can do hunting, obviously, see what we can get in terms for supplies prior to going wise.
Is that your fishing, Eldon?
Fishing or foraging.
Do you want to give me? Well, you roll a d6 for me because you got a crit. Oh, there you go, 6 supplies.
Do any of you need supplies?
I need 4 to be empty, but
I only need 1.
I need one will put me to full if you do that. So
Okay.
if you spread them out to everybody, then we'll all be at full supplies.
And then I'll just use the 1 extra to restore the fatigue from foraging.
Yeah.
Or
So I
wait,
mean,
no,
we're
Well,
all fully set.
Drac needs 4, right? And you both
Right.
need
Oh.
1.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I just have 1 fatigue from foraging then.
Yeah, so taking the Rhino directly east, don't need to spend any gear for this. And it's a journey just straight line there, 5 days.
Right, so the roll now for safety. Do we make it?
Now you can roll your you're not going to roll Rider because it's lower. But you can
They're both 4 now. When I leveled up, I upgraded
okay.
Rider.
Well, thematically, do you want to roll Rider for it then, since you're actually riding this beast the whole way?
Sure. Alright, so
So everyone's prepared. I don't think we're fresh because we do have injuries, yeah?
Yeah, I have an injury.
So you're prepared. The route is unknown, I would say, so that's dice down. It's not particularly dangerous, but it is more than a day and less than a week, so that's you're going to lose 2 dice.
alright, so at least we have 4 dice then. Then I get the freebie, then my trait would still apply even though I'm thematically rolling Rider, right? Or no?
Your traits will apply, yes, and
Okay.
remember you can push yourself if you want to take an extra fatigue.
Why not? I got fatigue to spare.
Oh, that's nice. You're acing it now. It's definitely decided that you've just earned all these dice rolls.
Well, you know what? I guess it decided that I embraced my inner, monster. So it's gonna reward me for making this poor animal suffer.
The epiphany one. So many sixes too.
Faith news blessed you.
Okay, so everyone takes well, actually, let me just check what I've written here. Do you want to roll a 1d4 for me, Drac?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you're only going to use up 1 supply each for the journey.
Oh my god. Alright.
Well, but you could have that, or you can find something useful along the way.
You know what? I don't
I
want to
th-
jinx it, so I'm just
I
gonna.
think we should find something useful.
Alright, you're the tiebreaker then. You ruin it.
Yeah,
Oh, the supply thing's technically because I found we use up like how many supplies would use up if we don't. If
We
we
use
Five.
up you use up 5 each.
Yeah, I think keep the supplies because they're a lot more helpful just now, especially in low and fatigue for rolls.
So we
Alright.
only use 1 supply.
Yep, we want to use 1 supply.
but you all still take 1 fatigue for the journey.
I took 2 because I pushed myself.
Yeah. Yes, 5 days across the open tundra. You see almost nothing but snow and bare rock. There's the occasional hill or mound. You can see in the tracks left over from the herd that is like stampeded in front of you. And you can see where they've turned south, like sort of midway through your journey. And you guys, despite the protests from the rhinoceros that you're riding, continue on east. And at dawn of the 5th day, you are crossing the river. And you can see in the distance the small village of Branch Patch. You can see a single plume of smoke coming from one of the buildings as you begin to approach. It is an odd sight, just a small little speck of a village in amongst this great white vast open land, with nothing else around it of note.
Being the jaded, bitter person I am, I'm actually not gonna enter the village with the rhinoceros, and me and him will stay outside the village. I'll let you guys handle all that.
Do you feel like you've pushed your luck enough today?
So you're just gonna leave it outside and let Stabley. Hopefully, it's going to stay there
No,
and
no,
not run
no,
away.
no, no. Me and it are staying outside. I'm letting you two go into the village.
All right, I'm waiting for Eldon's speech now to come on.
Like I don't trust these people not to try to slaughter my animals. So me and it are staying well outside of their beach.
Is this this is branch patch, right?
Correct.
All right, I guess I'll just go into the village. Actually, I'll use the supply and try to heal myself first.
Yeah, he's definitely passed his luck on to you. The curse.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but I'm sorry.
The black hand. You shouldn't have shook his hand, one.
It's okay. I'm still succeeding more than you were.
Are either of Eldon and Runic sharp-eyed?
I am, yeah.
I have wizard sight.
Yeah, I mean, this is both going to come useful then. So both of you as you approach notice different things. Eldon, you notice that there is a definite form of magical energy about this place. Someone has wielded magic. This is not like a natural magical phenomena. This is purposeful. A spell has been cast here recently, a powerful spell. And you can tell that just as you're approaching the place. Runic, with your keen eyes, you notice that this is indeed just a single plume of smoke. There is only one building in this village of a dozen or so buildings that actually has a fire going, which is highly unusual given that the winter is setting in, the snow's in, and how much the temperature has dropped. There does not seem to be any activity in the village. There's no one outside. There's no children playing with throwing snowballs at each other. No one seems to be cleaning anything or gathering anything. There's no sign of hunters or dogs. It seems completely devoid of life apart from this one building that has a stove, a fireplace going.
We'll just walk up like slowly to where the smoke's coming from and just try and keep an eye if I notice anything from any of the houses or something, in case there is anyone sort of like hiding in them.
Yeah, so as you approach this house, and it's one of the houses towards the centre of the town, the village, and you're looking around the other houses, the doors are all closed on them, the windows are shut over, but there's no signs of movement, there's no tracks in the snow, so nobody's been out walking around recently. Apart from this one house that you're walking up to, where you can see there's a single set of footsteps coming to and fro the front door.
I'm using hand gestures to let Eldon go in first.
You look back, he's just behind you making a snowman.
He don't have any animations. He's feeling lonely.
Eldon, you would like to go in first?
Oh, of course. I'll just walk up and kick open the door and just yell a loud greeting.
You boot open the door, and a startled old woman, covered in blankets, jumps, almost falls out of her chair in front of the fire, and sort of stumbles to one side of the rocking chair. She lets out a yelp of surprise and a look of shock on her face. Please don't hurt me.
He just looks around and points at himself.
Please, I don't have anything of value. I'm just here all alone.
Where are the other people?
They're safe. They're safe now.
Safe from what?
From the winter storm.
Did you save everyone?
Well, yes. I had to. There was no other choice. The winter is coming, and it would have frozen them all. They all would have perished.
How did you save them?
She calms down a little when she sees you're not like got a weapon drawn and you're not charging in to do any harm to her.
Eladin doesn't even have a weapon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So she seems a little more relaxed that you're just kind of like talking. She has a very sort of wide, scary kind of look about her face, even though she's quite elderly and sort of hunched over. Although she's quite a stocky frame.
I love how he just kicks it all in, but he doesn't have like any grand speech ready or anything.
I was expecting more than just one person.
Yeah, so she kind of rights her chair and turns it around to face you, like tries to get comfortable in the chair again. She says, "Oh, you gave me a terrible fright there. Please come in. The cold, the heat is escaping."
Oh, of course, of course.
Are you also stepping in, Runic?
I'll sort of stay hidden behind the door so she doesn't know me and just sort of like listen in what's happening.
Okay, so he's going to step inside,
Okay,
close the
I'll
door
phone
over.
out.
So it's not locked, but it's just like closed over. And you step in, Eldon. Come, warm yourself by the fire. You must be freezing. Where have you came from? We're a long ways from anywhere.
Oh, I came over here from the different fork in the river. We rode a rhino.
You rode a rhino? How in heaven's
Yes.
name did you manage that?
One of my companions asked it nicely, and then wandered off somewhere when we arrived.
So you didn't travel alone?
Oh, I mean, who could travel by themselves in this awful weather?
Yes, of course. No, you shouldn't be traveling alone. You said your companion left you?
I think he's wandering around the surroundings.
I see. She kind of just stares at the fire, and the silence goes on a little more than is comfortable, and you start to wonder, is there something wrong with her?
Do I see anything with my wizard sight? Is she like a powerful mage or something?
Give me a dice roll with something that's applicable. You can get extra dice for the mage sight. There's definitely an air of magic around this place, and it's in this cabin as well. But you're unable to tell if it came from her or if she's had anything to do with it. There's no indication that it's stronger, like around her or anything like that.
Yes, I came here with two others.
She kind of snaps out of the trance that she was in, or whatever it was. Oh, you must be freezing. Do you want some soup?
Oh, of course, I feel like I could eat a horse.
Yes. I suppose we should both have something to eat. And she gets up and she walks over to the little kitchenette on one side of the cabin. And she like looks around as if she's trying to remember where things are. She reaches into a cupboard underneath the window and pulls out a sort of iron bowl. And she looks at it. That's funny. I could have sworn I made some earlier. This will take some time, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's all right. Often in these, when you're by yourself for a while, your mind starts to wander.
Yes, wander. Yes. Well, I'll need to gather some snow to melt for the water. I'll be back in a moment. She kind of hobbles slowly to the front door, and then pushes the door open slowly and like steps outside with the large, or not large, but the big iron bowl that she has.
I want to curiously look around her cabin as when she leaves.
Just glancing around, I mean, you can see sort of rugs on the wall, blankets over where the bed would be on top of the hay, blankets lying all around a rocking chair in front of the fire. There's a small table there. There's an empty bowl, empty wooden bowl. There's some wooden cupboards that are quite finely crafted, and there's some like stitchings that have been put together, and some of them are being like hung up on the wall, and they're depicting like scenes of the mountains and trees and different animals. There's
Can
like,
I
there's bits of
can I tell
paper.
what?
Sorry, there's bits of paper that have like chalk drawings on them, and they very clearly look like children have been drawing on them.
Is there anything that's just like suspicious?
If you want to roll a dice, you can do a more in-depth kind of investigation.
I don't think any of my skills would work for that, would it?
You could just roll your one default dice if you want.
Just out of character though, children drawing isn't suspicious to you when there's no one else in the village.
Runic, you're standing outside behind the door, just trying to listen to it, and you can hear the steps of someone coming to the door before it opens.
Quietly move around to the edge of the building, sort of keep an eye out for who steps out.
Yeah, the door opens, and this old woman, quite stocky, covered in blankets, holding a large wooden, not wooden, an iron or tin bowl out of one hand, and she kind of hobbles out down the little step to the snow and starts. She grunts as she kind of gets down on her knees and starts scooping snow into the bowl or the pot. That's the word I was looking for.
Iron bowl. I didn't even think about part.
I was trying to think of it. Like a pot is what I was trying to say. Yeah, she fills up the pot with snow, and then she goes, oh, whew, whew, starts like blowing on her hands and rubbing them because she's cold. And then she just then she just sits there on her knees for a moment with her fingers underneath her armpits, just sort of staring off into the distance. And then after a few moments, she kind of like snaps out of it and scoops up the pot and hobbles her way back into the house.
I'm going against all my instincts is to shoot her, right? So I will hold back.
Before you embrace the inner monster, I thought we were terrible people.
Every part of my instinct and my character is telling me to shoot her right now, but I'm going against it for now.
She's obviously suspicious, but we don't know that.
Not stopped you guys before, but yeah. So you're holding off shooting her. I imagine you're like there and you've got the arrow drawn, pulled back, the bowstring, and it's just like following her as she moves back into the building.
Exactly that way.
Yeah, Eldon, so you like start opening cupboards and lifting up things and looking around, and I mean, it just seems like someone's home. There was clearly more than one person living here. There's like 3 sort of haystack beds in the corner with all the blankets put over each other, so they must have all been sleeping like right next to each other for warmth, but that's not unusual. But there's, other people were definitely here, but there's no one here. Everything else is just sort of everyday items you would expect. There is some clothing that is clearly not her clothing. Belongs to someone larger, and another set of clothing which belongs to a child. But then she comes back in with the pot, and she sort of looks at you for a second as if she's surprised. And then that look fades from her face, and she makes a huge smile. She says, "Well, yes, I'll get the tea on then." And she hangs the pot over the fireplace.
Excellent. Tea sounds wonderful.
Yes, so you must tell me, where is it you're coming from? Were you travelling alone?
We're from a village on the edge of the northern forest.
I see. Are you not worried about the storm?
Which one?
The great storm, the darkness is rolling in from the north. Haven't you heard?
I haven't heard of a dark winter storm. So far, we've only seen a red one and then a really foggy one.
Oh no, this is unlike the others. This is this storm. It will last for a century. There will be no one coming into it will see the other end. It's colder and viler and more vicious than any before it.
Is there nothing that can be done to prevent it?
Well, there is one way. And she goes, the colour fades from her face as she says it. But it shouldn't be attempted. It's far too dangerous.
Is it dark magic?
You can see she's
Alan just like looks at her with a giant smile on his face.
she looks like she's struggling with something internally, and you can see the tears sort of forming in the corners of her eyes. It's not. There's no darkness to magic. It's just how it's used. But it had to be done. The storm is coming, and they wouldn't have survived.
Everyone keeps telling me that I shouldn't use magic the way I do, but
No, but you must. You must if you want your loved ones to survive. If you want them to cherish. If you want to cherish them.
exactly. That's why no one likes it when I turn their house into a giant house monster to run away when there's monsters nearby.
Yes, sometimes you need to run away. She kind of drifts off, staring at the fire.
This is clearly just a conversation between two insane people.
I was just thinking, like, Vunik, are you thinking about shooting both of them now, or just the old lady still?
Good time to burn the house down.
The tempting plot.
Yeah, I imagine you can overhear some of what's being said through the door. It'll be muffled, and they're not talking very loudly, but you probably pick up bits and pieces of what they're saying. So you know they're just like having a conversation inside.
I'm tempted to run Lore Master though to see if anything she's telling me rings a bell.
Sure, Bennett, give me a roll. You don't need a fatigue for this one.
Checking if my traits apply to it. Because at Lore Master at 2, my extra dice goes because of that. Yeah, blessed by God, that wouldn't touched by the gods, that wouldn't cover anything. That's our sharp tie. Nah, no more skill, no more traits.
Just give me the roll then. Is it just anything she's talking about you want to recognise?
I think she was talking about also the winter being different, especially she reacted to the storm thing. So I'm just trying to see if anything sort of.
Yeah, so you've
obviously I'm aware of like these storm creatures.
Yeah, you've certainly heard of the legends that, every few centuries there is a storm, or a winter will set in that's longer and more harsh than the others. Some tribes and people have tales of like the apocalypse is basically just an eternal winter they would settle in, and would just extinguish all life through the cold and starvation. But these are tales that are told. There's nothing that you're aware of that happens that would fit the description of what she's saying. That it sounds like something that somebody would believe in, if they were already convinced that the apocalypse was coming.
Urge to kill rising, rising.
So, Evander, when you're like hanging about outside the village at a distance, maybe a couple hundred meters or so, with your rhino, are you just like settling down and getting comfortable, or are you like taking it for a walk around to explore the place, or what?
I would probably do like a perimeter around the village because you said just this one plume of smoke, so I'm already kind of iffy. Plus now I don't trust people, so I'm even more suspicious.
Sure. Do you want to give me a like a scout roll or something?
Yeah. Aha.
Yeah, like I said, the place is. Sorry, Nico.
I was gonna say back to my normal luck.
Yeah. As I said, the place is devoid of features. I know in the picture here it's got like mountains and stuff, but this is just like open, flat tundra. In the far distance, you can see a sort of light bluish haze, which just indicates that there's a lot of ice or frozen ocean over that direction. Kind of like to the northeast. All around though, there doesn't seem to be anything. There's no other buildings or structures that really stand out. There's a couple of barns, or perhaps where they store their fish or something like that, a little further out from the village main. But all you're seeing is like emptiness and no sign of life. You're not seeing any hunting parties or any tracks. No one's gone in or out of the village. Other than that, though, it seems normal. There's also no signs of danger or anything dangerous that's happened.
So walking around the village with the rhinoceros, I'm gonna name Norman. So walking around, would I notice that there's actually nobody else there? Like, could I see that for myself for sure?
Oh yes, I mean you don't see anyone else. If there is anyone else there, you don't see them. But you don't see any signs of anyone or anyone walking around or anything like that. So it's just confirming that it looks empty.
Right. So I think like after a pass or two, that I really don't see no one. I actually would like get closer to the village.
Yeah, and it's just to describe this one building in the centre seems to have smoke coming from it, and you can probably see if you get close enough. A Runic just sort of hanging around outside this one building, but you don't see Eldon or where he's gone.
Yeah, so I would like post up by another building, but I wouldn't get too close to the center building.
Sure. And this building you're next to, you don't hear any movement inside. There's no fireplace going, no smoke coming out of it. There's no light coming from the cracks between the windows. Although I imagine for installation, these are probably quite tightly sealed up anyway.
Yeah, I imagine there probably wouldn't be a window, or if there was, it'd be boarded up or something.
Yeah, have boards over or shutters or something. And then there will be like a sled that's been buried in the snow beside it. And there's like a stack of firewood beside it, and it is again just covered in snow. It's been sat out there and not been touched for quite some time.
I guess I would fiddle around with the sled while I'm waiting.
Yeah, it was a typical handmade, well-crafted wooden sled with like tanned skin to like act as a kind of cover for it and for something to put the bags on at the rear. It looks as if it's been made to be drawn by dogs, but you don't see any sign of animals around at all. So, Eldon, you're in there with this woman, and she continues. She manages to find some tea leaves, puts them in the pot, and starts to brew them up. And then she begins looking for some cups for you to drink out of. And she tries a couple of cupboards before she gets the right one. and then gets you some cups and sits them down.
So it's pretty obvious that she doesn't actually live here.
Possibly not. Probably not. At one point in the conversation, she does seem to remember that you mentioned having other people with you. Where are your friends? Aren't you worried about them?
Oh, I'm sure they're fine. They're cold. They're more bitter than any winter.
I thought he was gonna say something like, "Oh, I'm sure they're fine, or they're dead. It don't really matter."
Are you planning on staying? I mean, you're perfectly welcome to sleep and share the fire if you need to.
Of course, I'll have to meet with them later to see what their decision is. But I'm sure we can work something out.
Of course, of course. Aren't
Now
you-
back to this way you saved everyone. Obviously, it must have worked, but you can't possibly save everyone everywhere. You need someone else to know who can help you with it.
I mean, I've thought about saving others, and I suppose if I made the effort, I could, but I'm not sure that I'm not sure that what I did was right.
I mean, look around. It worked. It seems like it worked perfectly well.
Yeah.
There's all these things with no owners to argue with him about bringing them to life. And he just cackles madly.
At the mention of like bringing them to life, her face like fills with color, and there's like a flush of anger washes over her, and she looks at you as if you know you've done something really insulting, and she just like knocks over the tea and just like starts screaming at you. What would you know about bringing anything to life?
Can I roll to see if I would have been able to put a ritual circle inside the house while she was outside?
Sure.
Would this be calm or would this be foolhardy?
I don't think it'd be either if you're just doing it in a hurry before she came back in. Yeah, you were able to get a ritual circle set up.
As she yells at him about bringing stuff to life, he just like pats the wall, and a terrifying pair of wooden eyes just pops out of the wall over the fireplace.
She turns to see the eyes and steps back for a moment, but she doesn't seem too fazed by this. She says, I knew it! You're a sorcerer! You think you can get them, don't you? You think you can take them from me! And she like whips her hands back and all the blankets fall off her. And this just wave of magical energy just like spills out from her body. It starts to spread out into the house. I've worked too hard and given up too much. I'm not going to let you take them. And the wave of magical energy just turns from a kind of light greenish hue into this dark wine red. You can see the air around you sort of like crystallizing, all the droplets of moisture just like turning to ice. You can feel the ice beginning to form in your eyelashes and around your lips. What do you want to do?
I guess I will I'm gonna jump into the fireplace and have the house protect me.
Do you want to jump into the fire? That's fine.
Yes.
What could go wrong?
Sure, you don't need to roll for that. Just take an injury from the fire burning you.
It's okay. At least I'm not going to get frozen.
You leap into the fire. You can see just like icicles and frost forming on all the furniture and the walls of the inside of the house. The house itself kind of like shudders and shakes as it tries to slowly wrench itself free of its foundation. But you're dead. I mean, I imagine you can like scream with pain from the fire burning you as you leap into it.
Of course.
Runic, you can hear her like shouting. And you can see the whole house kind of like shifting side to side. The snow on its roof sort of shaking free and running down off the side of the building.
I'm just sort of shaking my head. Alander. And then I'm going
Do the stacks of wood on the side of the house turn into arms?
Yes,
You
I know
know-
exactly what you've done.
You know, I wonder who's really the insane person here. Is it Eldon, or is it the both of us for letting him do the talking?
Well, here's the orator, so technically he's supposed to talk for us.
Right, but we know that's not what he does. So like, why do we keep letting him? So why do we
It breaks the ice, we call it.
Yeah, so what would you like to do, Runic?
I'm going to try and sneak through the front door and shoot an arrow quietly while she's putting all her focus on Alander.
Alright, so just Eldon. And just, so nudge open the door and then draw your arrow and shoot her.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a archery roll.
Use sharp eye for that one, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be 4 dice.
I can just picture him being like, I should have killed her when she was outside.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you peek open the door, come in with your bow and arrow drawn, aim towards her. You can see her, she's like reared herself up to her full height, her arms are outstretched. As soon as you like open the door to the crack, it feels colder inside the building than it does outside. And instantly you can feel the frost forming on like your eyelashes, around your mustache and beard. So you let go of the arrow and it sinks into her chest, just to the side of her arm, you know, between the shoulder joint and the heart. And she lets out a grunt of pain, and she kind of like bends over, grabs where the arrow sunk into her, and then looks up at you, and her eyes are just like glowing with this kind of blood red magical energy. You will not take them from me! And she snaps the arrow in her chest, throws it off to the side, and clasps her hands together. And as she does, this bright white flash just kind of like blinds you for a moment. I imagine Eldon just kind of like rolls out the fire at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out of the fire. It's dangerous in there.
Sure, so you like roll across the floor to try and put yourself out. And just as
And
this,
then,
sorry, just as there's kind of like a flash of light.
Am I also blinded?
Just for a second, you know, it doesn't last very long.
All right, then as she's focusing on Runic, I'm going to. I don't know.
Runic, you're just like blinded for a second, and as you kind of blink a couple of times to look around, the woman is no longer in the room, but the whole inside of the building is just encased in ice.
I knew I should have shot her earlier. I knew it.
The house rumbles and tips up on the far end so that you fall out of the front door. Eldon, you just like roll across the floor and slide into the space of the wall beside the front door. Tables and chairs are knocked and kind of roll down with you. Some of them go flying out the front door, others just sort of smash into the wall. from outside, Evander, you can see the walls just underneath the sloped roof of the building sort of like flap and extend outwards, and then stretch out and plant themselves outstretched on the ground, and the building just kind of pulls itself up in one direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna mount up on Norman here and get a little bit of distance between me and that building. Which I already had some distance, but I'm just gonna make sure.
Yes, you jump on top of your rhinoceros and you're pulling the rope to turn it around, and you can see this figure of this hunched over woman trundling through the snow, falling over on her knees, crawling, getting up again, and trying to like move as fast as she can away from
Do
the
I,
village.
do I see the arrow sticking out of her, or did she pull it out?
She's got kind of her back to you, and she's a bit of distance from you. You're not sure how she got there. You didn't see her run out of the village.
Is she leaving a blood trail? Would I be able to spot that?
You're sharp-eyed,
And-
so sure.
So she's wounded. She's leaving the building that Vunik was posted up at.
Well, she's leaving the village. She's already well outside, well away from the
Oh,
building.
okay, right. So she's just running away. I'm not gonna bother with her, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on. As long as she ain't coming at me, I don't care.
Yeah, there's a kind of crashing sound as all this furniture tips out of this building, and then the other end of it kind of like pushes forward and rips itself out from the ground. A big chunk of the wall, kind of bricks and wood, and the front door itself just like fall off to the ground below it. It stands itself up, supported on either side by the walls that have extended outwards. On the inside, Eladin, you're just kind of like then roll across the floor in the other direction as it pulls itself up, and the walls on either side of the building split off and open up. What would you like to do?
Shout at Eladin, says, I told you about reanimating things. You actually did it. You actually reanimated a house.
I know, it's great, isn't it? And he
Where'd the old woman go to?
laughs as he jumps out the front.
Would I be able to tell that that's what he did? Like, would I look at that house and think that he animated that? Or
Perhaps. I mean, you'd hear Runic like yelling and shaking his fist up at the building. And maybe a moment later, you see Eldin just kind of like fall out of the gap on the side of the building where the wall is like split out.
okay, now that I've assessed that the house isn't going to attack me and the old lady's left, I think I'm going to get off of my rhinoceros and go see what's going on. Maybe I'm going to test that slit.
When I was searching, get my arrow and set up saying, where's the old woman gone? Where's she gone?
Old woman. I guess I'll point in the direction I saw her running to be a blood trail.
And as you turn around to point in the direction that she was running, you can see that there is a mountain where there was not a mountain moments ago.
What in the fuck is going on?
He's kidnapped all the people here. That's why the village is empty.
Yeah, but where did the mountain come from?
Place is probably covered with illusions.
What do you mean? The mountain was always there.
No, the mountain was not always there. I walked around this village twice. There was no mountain there.
I'm sure it was there when we got here.
I'm sure you're
Maybe you just
crazy.
didn't notice.
Maybe that's where the people are.
There's a loud crashing sound as the house is kind of like pushed itself forward by its walls and landed like at the length of the house again, away from its original foundation.
What the fuck is going on with that house?
The walls lift up and kind of reach over slowly, extend to hit the ground, and it tries to pull itself up and over another time.
Obviously, it's become an abominable house rug.
What sort of abomination have you made this time?
I blame shoddy construction.
There's another crashing
And
sound as it lowers itself again a length along. It hits the ground. Massive cracks go up the stonework at the ends of it, and a massive hole kind of like tears in the corner.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to respond to the situation. I think I'm just gonna ignore it and them, and I'm gonna start like attaching this sled to the back of my rhinoceros, and I'm gonna go inside the nearest house and start looking for supplies. I've hit the point of I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Yeah, you step inside the house, and it's as if we would step into like a really cold refrigeration unit. It's completely covered in frost on the inside. It feels colder in here than it does outside. And there is a man and a woman sat at a table. There is a young child sat on the side of a bed, and another young child on all fours with some toys in the middle of the floor. And they're all covered in like frost.
Do they seem like they're alive, or does it just seem like they're just completely
They
like they're dead
look as
frozen?
if they're just like frozen solid.
But I was gonna ask that like, do the skin look normal, or is the skin like a blue tint to it? Like, are they
It is
like
a kind
legit
of
frozen?
pale bluish tint to it, yeah.
That's terrible.
The most unnerving thing is their eyes are all like open, as if they're just like being frozen instantly in mid conversation.
It's
Or
real.
is there's children involved? I'm getting angry. I'm just going, Elton, here. Can I drag him into the house and says, tell us, is this magic locking them, or is this actually frozen death?
While they're doing that, I'm gonna loot the house because it's terrible for them. But that's not my problem. I need I need gear and supplies if there's any of it not frozen solid.
Roll a 1d6 for me. Oh, you said not frozen solid.
Well, anything usable, is what I meant by that. Because you
Okay.
said the whole house was covered in frost. So
Yeah, roll a 1d6. Yeah, everything is like frozen solid, but your choice of supplies and or gear, two of them worth, can be usable.
well, my supplies is good. My gear's almost maxed out, so I'm gonna take 2 gear slots, I guess.
Yeah, there'll be tools and stuff there that even though they're frozen cold, they're good.
I'm gonna go load them up on that sled. That sled I just attached to my rhinoceros.
Right, Elden, tell me. I need to know, are they alive because it's a spell and they're just frozen because of that? Or are they actually frozen dead?
Let's see. I'm gonna get like really close to one of them.
Give me a roll with something and your mage sight.
Would my ritual level work for this? Or would it be healing?
Your ritual level would work.
I'm guessing since I don't know this.
I mean, not really. It should really be like lore master, but I'll give you it.
I'm guessing curious would probably help too, since I don't know what this is.
Sure. Okay, so this is a very powerful magical spell that must have been a ritual. You couldn't have done it otherwise. It would have been something that took a lot of time and preparation to do. You are not sure, however, if these people can be revived. They may be like dead, frozen, or it could be that there is a way to bring them back using a sort of reverse ritual, but it's not something that you know how to do.
They're frozen. Yep. I'm gonna
poke one of them. Yep, definitely
Great
frozen.
deduction skills.
You poke one of them in the chair, and the nudge kind of knocks it over, and the man just like hits the ground. Just like
Does he shatter?
no, he doesn't shatter. It's not that much force, but he hits the ground, and he seems to be frozen pretty solid.
You're staring at the children, you just hit something, just like bash my fist into the wall or something.
I'm gonna go to the next house while they're debating all that. To see if the rest of the village is all frozen solid like this.
Yeah, there's an elderly couple. The man is in a position that suggests he was like putting on his clothes for the morning as he was frozen. The woman is standing over a cold stove.
So it seems like it caught everyone in the middle of the activities. Would there be anyone who looks like shocked or surprised, or maybe they like saw it coming or something?
The expression on these people does not seem to be that at all, no.
Right, right. That's what I meant. Like if I like investigated the whole village, would I happen to find anybody by chance who would, or will they all be caught by surprise? Like they were just doing the normal thing and it just happened.
I would say that looking around everyone's expressions, it looks as if it happened so quickly no one realised it even happened.
So no one was just in. So wherever she did this from, she wasn't in the village when she, or at least around people when she did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it was done at a time they just weren't aware, at least anyway.
Right.
Right, come on, gonna kill her.
Well, that might break the spell.
So Wawa.
No one hurts children. Let's go.
The enthusiasm from your comrades is deafening.
We'll murder elderly old people, but we draw the line at children.
It's not an old person, it's a witch, it's a monster, it must die. Should have shot it earlier.
Well, I meant that even if it was just an elderly old lady, you'd probably still kill her. But the children, that's where we draw the line.
Yes. And what do you expect to do? We go kill her. The place is covered probably in magic. Probably get lost here for days and never get our way out of this place.
Well, I mean, seeing as how a mountain appeared where there was no mountain, I'm not sure we can even find this old lady.
I'm a hunter. I hunt. Let's go. Whereabouts you seen the tracks which it was going from?
Hulk smash. I'll lead you to the blood trail. Maybe we can follow it.
The blood trail clearly leads, without a roll, straight to the mountain. From a distance, there appears to be a cave of some sort at the side of the mountain.
Let's go. Oh, let's go. I'm prepping. Make sure I was got my bow and arrow and prep just to get closer.
I just wanna get this straight in my own head. You wanna fuck with somebody who made a mountain appear where there wasn't a mountain. That's what you're telling me.
Think it this way. She makes illusions, you get lost, and we'll never get out of here ever again.
That that doesn't help me because you guys already suffer with me every day.
I'm telling you, the mountain was there the entire time.
I'm telling you, you're batshit crazy.
And I'm telling you, if you both help me, don't save the children, nothing will save you ever again.
I didn't say I wouldn't help you. I was just getting it straight in my head that we're going to go fuck with somebody who can make mountains appear out of nowhere. I just want to know where I stand.
The mountain was already here. She cast an illusion because there was no people in the village previously when we walked in. The houses. Only when she was injured and we left, and she left, that's when the illusion started disappearing.
Can anyone spend a gear point to pull out a sword? Whatever you say.
So the cave entrance is this large oval-shaped opening, covered in ice. The tracks clearly lead towards this entrance. There's nothing else like obscuring your path.
I'm assuming Norman, the rhinoceros, is too big to fit in this cave.
And no, you could lead him in there if you wanted.
Oh, I'm totally taking him with me.
Are
I'm
you?
riding him in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you riding him or just like pulling him along?
No, I'm riding him in there. If he'll fit, that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, you could comfortably fit in there. Are you all making this trip?
I wonder if she has any treasure. And we have to save the children, of course.
Don't try to hide it now. You done fucked up.
I'll text you, Elip, and you can use our corpse or something. Think all the magical properties our corpse will have.
Yeah, so as you enter the cave, much like the buildings in the village, it feels colder as you get inside, even though there's no wind or breeze coming in. It's completely frozen on the inside, the ground is really slippery and icy. The rhinoceros has feet perfectly adapted for, out in the snow and stuff, but it doesn't seem very comfortable on this surface either, and it slows down and really takes its time, and you have to really nudge it along to get it to like go further.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Inside the cave seems long, dark. I don't know if you can see quite a way in because of the light reflecting from the snow and stuff outside, but it seems to go deep into the mountain, although it doesn't appear to be going downwards. Just want to go in. Well, sorry. Unless you spend a gear or something to stay warm, you're going to take a cold as you go inside.
I think.
I'll use the gear first. Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say. I think I was gonna use one of the gears I got as like blankets or furs or something to keep myself warm.
Yeah, an extra layer. Yeah.
And then I also would like last time we did stuff. I spent a gear. I got a lantern. I guess I'd like light the lamp or whatever so we can help
Sure.
see.
Yeah, and it lights up. You get in, it's getting dark, and you're getting to the point where you can't really see the edges very well anymore. So you decide to light the lamp to light up, and as you do, you can see as it kind of like goes further into the mountain, on either side of the walls there are just rows of people frozen.
Oh my God! She collects people.
There's like a wall of ice and all these people encased in it. Some of them look as if they had been like scratching at the ice to break free when they finally succumbed to the cold.
Yeah, this person deserves to die.
So I was like 80% okay with following you. Now I'm like 50% not sure if I want to do this anymore.
I wonder if I can figure out how to do this to people.
Oh my God.
Do any of you want to examine the people that are frozen?
Yeah, I'll go and poke one of them.
Sure. You walk up to the ice and like tap on it like it's glass, and the person inside, their eyeball just moves slightly to the right to look at you.
I think these guys are still alive.
Oh
I'm gonna look into his eyes and like move my head back and forth, see if he follows me.
The eye just moves a little bit to the right and a little bit up, and that's all the movement it has.
Okay, we need to kill this thing. Let's go.
You can see like a single
So
tear
now-
on its cheek that is frozen in place.
So he's frozen alive. So now I'm like 30, 70. 30, I'll follow you. 70, I want to leave. You're losing me here.
Let's go kill a witch and steal her magic.
That's part of the reason why I don't want to go in. I don't want to give this magic to him.
It's like shit.
What?
What would he do with this kind of power?
Yeah. Like, oh my god. You might have an
On
accident.
that animate mountain, follow me to battle.
An abominable mountain.
You hear a sound carried by the wind in the far distance of something heavy like crashing on the outside.
You
And then,
didn't cast a spell on the mountain, did you?
and then from the other direction, deeper into the cave, you can hear like a. It's not a manic laughter like your colleague here, but it's kind of like a kind of gleeful cackling.
I think she's that way. I'll start walking after.
Yeah, as you go further on, the wall of people,
Excellent deduction skills.
the wall of people kind of like shifts so that it becomes like a ceiling and a floor of frozen people. But the whole angle of the cave shifts and it does start to descend downwards at an angle. But now you're like walking or sliding more appropriately across the ice, which is like a floor of people. And many more of them now have their hands and stuff stretched out, and some of them, the tips of their fingers are even poking out of the ice itself.
So how many fingers am I breaking off here with my rhinoceros horse?
Your rhinoceros is going to struggle to like descend down such a slippery surface, so it's up to you if you want to risk him taking him further. If
So
you
you're saying
if you
if
want
I
to
take him down, getting him back up would be even more problem, wouldn't it?
getting back up would be difficult. Riding him down the way probably more difficult. Yeah, because we're trying to keep these balance and stuff so he doesn't slip. But you can make a riding test with one less dice than normal if you want to try.
You know what? I got him for a reason. We're gonna try this. So one dice less than normal. Would Sharpeye help me? I don't think any of my other traits would help in this particular
I
case.
don't think Sharp Hide would help. No, it's more about balance and control.
Right, so one less dice than usual, you said? So that would just negate the free one, right?
Yeah.
Where's my fatigue at? Ah!
It's back.
Okay.
It's back, baby.
So as you venture on downwards, are you guys letting the rhino go out in front, or use like
That would
ahead of
be
it?
advisable. But with him
I was
being
like,
angry. Yeah, okay.
What did you say, sorry, Zach?
I'm just wandering around around the group, just looking at the bodies and the walls and the floor.
Are you out in front, Runic, or are you letting the rhino go out in front?
Rhino in front.
Yes. So Evander is like taking it cautiously, but the beast is really not happy about this, and it kind of rears up at one point to try and resist your nudgings. And as it does so, the floor like cracks and splits underneath of it, and the whole thing just like slides off with its rear legs, swing around in its front. The beast panics and starts pounding harder to try and escape, but that just causes more ice to fall. And the two of you go tumbling down the passageway, this thing crushing on top of you as you're like sliding down the ice, so you're going to take an injury. And it is also going to take an injury.
How would that work? Would I take 2 injuries then?
You take
Or-
2 injuries, yeah, but thematically it has one and you have one.
Gotcha.
But I mean, you taking 2 injuries is also
So-
thematic because it crushes you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm in a lot of pain here, but you know what? I gotta comfort the animal. It's okay, you're new. We ain't trained you yet. You'll get used to this kind of stuff.
I'll just slide down after that, land in the rhino.
Oh, you want to land on the rhino?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a roll for reaction.
Me or him?
Him.
Okay.
Because it's a panicked, wild, injured beast at this point. It's not a safe thing to be around.
Yeah, I was in the
Survivalist be it?
process of calming it down.
What's that, Alex?
Would it be survivalist?
Survivalist to work, yeah.
I'm guessing that's foolhardy though.
Definitely, yeah. Yes, you also take an injury as the beast just like crushes your body with its massive foot as it's scrabbling around trying to get up, but it keeps falling down because it seems to have damaged one of its rear legs. The thing breaks into a panic and starts stomping around furiously.
Yeah, I'd be using the rope to try and like keep it still and calm it down while I was doing that, I suppose.
You
Like,
want to
try
get another rider roll? You try to
Yeah.
regain control of it.
Right.
Yes, you're able to do so without anyone getting injured.
Would I take a fatigue for that roll too?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay. Once I got it calmed down, I think I'll take the little short break so I could use supplies to lower fatigue. After I got it calmed down.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, because I was at 3 fatigue with that roll. I wanted to make sure I didn't go to 4.
There's no more frozen people down this section. This seems to be like a naturally formed cave. Although, you know, it's clearly just like been frozen by a sudden drop in temperature. There was like a small stream or underground river that ran through the bottom here at some point, and it's frozen solid, so you're all standing on like ice.
Come on, we'll slowly go over. I'm gonna slowly try and get over to a bit where it's more land rather than frozen ice.
Yeah, against the wall it's like kind of rockier. But it's still quite slippery and treacherous. Do you want to give me a Dungeoneer roll to see how well you managed along the rest of the way?
I'm gonna eat a supply as we go.
And my traits might apply. So dungeon at 2. Yeah. Sharp Eye to help with that, wouldn't it? 'Cause it's sort of a scouting type thing as well.
Sharp Eyed will help you in case there's any traps or particularly treacherous parts.
So 3 dice then. Unless anyone else wants to help us with it.
I can assist. Like I said, I just lowered my fatigue, so.
I can help too if you need me to.
Well, I've got 3 dice to get through this, so no, 3 might be alright. 4
Well,
probably.
Just take 4
Handy.
because I'll assist you. I'll be okay with assisting. Like I said, I just lowered fatigue, so.
Good taking 4. That's good.
Yeah, so you fumble your way along the darkness and the slippery ice. You're able to find a sort of larger chamber that opens up, and it looks as if here she's been, or something has been hoarding belongings. Do you want to roll a d6 for me? So you get 1 treasure each, plus another 2 treasure, if you want to collect them. This is all like the gemstones, jewelry, small purses of coin.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
my
collect
first-
the treasure. I need it.
That's my first treasure of the game. Woo woo.
Is that it? 4 treasure? No. 5
Three,
treasures now.
1 treasure each, and then an extra 2 treasure to split however you want.
I'm nearly full in debt, so I need the treasure to clear all my debt.
Same here.
Sorry, are you trying to say you're keeping all 5 treasure?
No. I'll also get one. The
You keep
one
the
each.
extra one. Yeah.
Yeah, I get extra 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, the chamber immediately adjacent to this chamber, as you're kind of filling your buckets, you can see the old woman. She's hunched over what looks like to be just like a large rock in the middle of a larger room, or a larger cave. There doesn't seem to be anything else in there that's spectacular. It's just all like frozen walls like the rest of it. It's just this one rock in the centre that she's standing over, and she seems to be rubbing her hands on it, or doing something to it with her hands. And she sounds like as if she's chanting as she does this.
I'm gonna shoot her in the head.
Okay, give me an archery roll.
Can't feel my instincts now. I can't feel my instincts now. Mm, 4 dice.
Yeah, so you take aim and you let your arrow fly. She seems to like preternaturally sense that you are there despite how quiet you were in your approach. And she turns around at the last second and the arrow just hits her in the left shoulder or upper arm. She lets out a kind of shriek of pain and then she thrusts out her right hand towards you and lets out a yell of like glee as she does so. There's nothing visual happening, but all of a sudden you can just feel your body just like freeze and your muscles ache. You can feel the blood in your veins like thumping through them as if they're struggling to like pump blood around your body. So take an injury. And what would the rest of you like to do?
I'm gonna have Norman charge it. Let's use his he's scared, so let's use that. I'm angry because he hurt me, so let's use that. We're just gonna charge this lady.
Are you riding him, charging her, or are you just
Oh
slapping
yeah.
it and sending it
No,
in?
I'm on top of him.
Okay, give me the raid roll. She has been shot twice, so she is quite badly injured already.
I'm gonna push myself for this one. Thank God.
Yes, you're charged towards her, and her eyes, she realizes what danger she's in, and ironically, she freezes up for a second, obviously indecisive about how to actually remedy the situation, and in just desperation, she throws up one hand, and you also feel that pain surging through your body, that cold searing through your muscles, and you take an injury. But then your rhinoceros just charges headfirst into her, spears her torso with its massive horn, and drives her into the rock that she was doing something with a second ago. It nearly like tears its horn like right out through her body again, in this massive like shower of blood. She screams with agony and pain, and takes a couple of minutes to die on the end of this thing's horn.
Now we can do little victory triumph.
So she tries to speak, to say something, but all that happens is blood gurgles in her throat.
I'm gonna walk up to her and just stab her in the neck, and just say, "Oh, what a pity."
I know you were hanging back quietly, you just wanted to steal her magic.
Yeah. Does she have anything on her that's obviously magical?
No, the only thing she has on her is like a small wooden trinket. It looks as if it's a very crudely carved shape of a deer or a horse.
I'm gonna take it.
I guess I'll pull her body off of his horn or have him shake her body off of his horn. Then I'll be cleaning him up, or they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, he's just like it ragdolls her body around a couple of times, trying to shake her off, and then you have to like get him to lower his head while you slide her body off.
I'm going over to examine the rock that she was sort of staring, hovering over.
The rock is a very dark grey with a lot of kind of like air holes all over it. There isn't any drawings or paintings or etchings in it. It just seems like a... It looks out of place here against the rest of the ice and the kind of stone that this place is made of. And it's embedded in the ground at a kind of 45-degree angle.
I use Doormaster to see if I recognise anything or take anything from it.
Yeah. Yeah, from the type of rock this is, and the sort of metallic kind of texture it has, you can tell that this rock does not belong here. This is not a rock from this area. It might not even be from this world, but it is old whenever it was embedded down here. And these kind of things are the sort of natural objects that are sources of great magical energy.
Questioning the thought to tell Ellen.
What's the question?
I'm questioning if I should tell you that the fact this rock has strong magical energies.
Oh, I think Eldon
and
with
that the
his
fact
mage
that-
sight just knows that. He can feel the energy radiating off of it.
How big is this rock?
It's about the height of, if you're standing next to it, average height person, man, probably up to about your belly. But that's how much is sticking out of the ground. There may be more deeper down.
Is it natural?
In a sense, but it very much does not belong where it is. Sorry, Drag, were you saying something?
I was gonna ask, like, so like when Norman charged into it, did he break any of it off, or like is it so sturdy that it didn't even?
If you investigate it, you were sure some of it must have chipped off with his horn or the body the way it slammed against it, but it doesn't. It seems completely undamaged. If you want to examine where it actually kind of smashed her against it, you can see like all this smear of blood on the stone. And the rest of the stone has this kind of dark grey, almost sort of metallic sort of texture to it, like I said. But where the blood is touching it, it kind of feels warm and soft.
I wanna touch it.
Of course he does.
Take a stress when you touch it. Your mind is flooded with pictures of like an alien landscape and these massive, huge, purplish tentacle creatures crawling across this huge reddish sandstone landscape. There's no sky, there's no atmosphere, you just see the stars above and this massive glaring purple sun that just beams down radiation on the surface of this world.
Ooh, I wonder what that was. You guys should touch it.
No, I'll pass.
As you turn and say that to them, you can feel someone's hand reach up from the stone and like wrap their fingers around your wrist.
Around mine or those?
Yours.
I didn't touch it. So definitely not mine.
What is the hand doing?
You turn down to look where the hand would be. There's nothing there. Your hand's just touching the stone.
Can I try to grab the hand back where I feel it is?
Sure, it's just empty air.
How interesting. I wonder. I'm gonna pull out a knife out of my pack and just cut my hand over the stone.
Can I be giving Runic the side eye at this point?
I'm preparing a dagger just in case.
Like,
As your blood drips and hits the surface of the stone, you can hear the thoughts of all the people that are trapped in the ice of the cave above you. And they all plead with you to please free them.
Do any of you
Please let them go.
Do any of you know how to free you?
They don't know. She did it to them. She could undo it. If you can hear them, then, and they know you can hear them now, you must be able to free them.
well, good thing you're insane, buddy. That many people talking to you at once.
You just hear him talking to the air.
You can also sense that most of them, if not all of them, are completely like raving mad. They have been trapped here for so long they've lost their minds.
So he's right at home.
Well, I could free you. Probably, somehow. But why should I?
But you must, you can't be so evil. You have to let us go. She was going to do the same to you. Please, please. And they'll beg you, plead with you. Some of them have children. Some of them are here with their children. They have families. They have loved ones. They are young. They never lived all their lives.
You know, if you don't, because of children, Runic's going to end up stabbing you.
Well, you don't know that he can hear these voices. You just see him. This all happens in like a flash of an instant. You just see him cut his hand and spill blood on the stone.
Whoa. I can probably try to find a way to free you all, but we'll need to enter some kind of binding contract so I can get something in return.
And this you two can hear him saying to nobody in particular.
Oh boy.
What do you talk about? Some sort of contract? Are you trying to make some sort of deal with some creature? Hope you're not risking lives of children here.
There are children here?
In the village, frozen solid.
Oh, they're probably free. That's probably a different spell.
I sort of look around and sort of don't trust the idea of his plans.
Yeah,
Does she have any like books or anything around here?
There's nothing else in here.
I think I'm gonna stop pointing my sword in his direction. Like, I don't know about this either.
You know, I think I have an idea of how to free them. So I saw some creatures in that vision, right?
Yes.
I wonder if they somehow are related to this. Maybe they can have the powers to free them. I want to try to shapeshift into one of the eldritch abominations I saw.
Oh my god.
You're not going to be able to shapeshift into that.
Oh, it's not close enough to what I understand as a creature,
Yeah, let's go with that.
or it's just too much.
Yeah, it's too alien. Your magic doesn't even know how to deal with that.
Do I have any idea of how I can free these people?
I don't know, do you?
What if I break that little trinket that I've found on the witch's body?
Well, I mean, we already established you didn't know a ritual to undo the freezing.
Yeah.
Was it you said when I did Lore Master on the Rock that I understood that it's not natural to the place. I don't sort of
Yeah.
know any symbols in it.
Yeah, that's facts about the thing and the type of thing that it is, but that doesn't help you in like doing anything with it. If he'd gotten a better roll when he did the ritual thing, he might have been able to figure it out, but he didn't get enough. Like, he knows the nature of it, and, you know, he can guess, like, what was maybe done to do it, but he doesn't know how to undo it.
Could I use Curious to examine the rock some more?
Sure. Yeah, as you examine it and just try a few different things. Yeah, so as you're kind of like feeling your way around the rock and putting your ears up to it, and maybe you like lick it a couple of times just to like try everything, you can hear a low, deep whisper coming from nowhere in particular. And it seems to have noticed that you're interested in this thing, this rock.
What does the whisper say?
It asks you, what can you offer?
I'll answer it back in my head. I can offer all the people trapped here.
It says, I already have those that are trapped here. They
Then
are,
I can find
they are sustaining me.
I can promise to bring more people here.
And what do you want in exchange?
For power.
Power I can grant you.
Why else would I talk to a magical rock? And he says that out loud.
Knowing you, there's so many reasons you might talk to a magical rock.
Bring me
I mean,
more.
he might just talk to a normal rock.
Bring me more, and I will give you all the power you can desire.
Do you know how to set yourself free?
I am free. Why would you think I'm not?
Because you're trapped in a rock.
You don't hear laughter, but it's definitely amused.
So what do I do when I bring people here? Do I just have them come in?
Yes, bring them to me. And I will give you the power so that you may offer them to me. Are these offerings? And you know instinctively it's talking about the two people with you.
I want to just peek over the rock at them, see what they're doing.
Oh, I got my sword pointed straight at you the whole time. I did that when you started talking out loud.
I don't know if I can get them to touch you though.
I don't need them to touch me. You can feel it's like a long, thin, cold feeling as if it's coiling up each of your ankles around your legs.
All of us.
No, just him. Just Eldon.
Guys, I think we should run. And he just starts booking it out of the cavern.
So
I'm gonna
the
cast
magic
shield on
type-
myself just in case.
Oops. still looking at Runic like we can still kill him. There's still time. That's what my face is saying right now.
As you run, Eldon, I'd like you to take another stress. You can hear all of these hundreds of voices screaming in anguish, "Don't leave us, no! You can't do this to us."
Sorry, nothing I can do.
I'm just,
Does anything happen as I run up?
Yeah, your mind is just like filled with images of this void and this creature, and you can see and feel tentacles coming out from all around you, closing off the light from the light sources from the torch and then from the entrance as you near it. They're always reaching out, stretching towards you, but they're always just on the periphery of your eyesight. But in amongst that sort of panic and fear that you feel is also this very corrupting, tempting sensation of just like great power. Chorused by the agonies of all these people that are trapped.
Elden, you better not be leaving these children to die.
He just runs off, and you two are just like standing there.
This whole time. I'm still just giving you a look like we could kill him. Like we can catch up and kill him.
You're not wondering why he's running away and why he shouted run before he left?
Oh, I'm definitely wondering all of these things.
You two standing there, I mean, it's just an empty cave room with this rock, and he's just like ran off screaming or whatever. Nothing else seems unusual to you two at all.
I'm going to see if I can stab the rock or chip bits of it off with my... I'll use a gear actually, like a wee pickaxe, and try and chip bits off it.
Sure, what kind of force do you want to hit it with? I mean, you just tap it, nothing happens.
And try to see any of my skills I might work with that. Engineer would
Peasant would be like physical stuff like that.
I've got peasant, so I can do that, yeah. And seeing any of my traits might apply here.
Anything to do with strength.
Heart of battle. Will readily resort to violence. So...
Yeah, I mean, if you get angry with it and start hammering it really profusely, sure.
Well, because children are suffering, I don't like the idea of it.
Well, the focus of that angle is laying dead at your feet or someone's feet.
Yeah, with a crit, you
If I hear
hammer it.
anything when he swings his sword at the rock.
Every time he hits it with a pickaxe, it rings out this like a metallic clang, but you can feel it in your teeth. It's vibrating right through you. You can take a stress or an injury.
Was that
Yeah,
to Runic?
To Eldon. You take it once before you're able to like get outside the cave, and then you're far enough away that it doesn't cause you pain, although you can still kind of feel it every time he does it. You smack it and smack it and smack it. At the last time you bring a blow down as hard as you can, the pickaxe snaps, like the metal part of the pickaxe snaps, but a small chunk of the rock does come off. And as you do that, the whole cave shudders, and a massive icicle from the ceiling crashes to the ground beside you.
I'm take that as my cue to leave. I'm gonna be getting me and Norman out of there.
Wait, I might need you for a second. You have some sort of magic bolts, don't you?
Yeah, better make it quick though, because I am ready to leave.
Fire it through the holes in the rock, your magic bolt.
You want me to shoot magic at the rock through the holes? I
don't have magic. This is why you need magic.
guess I do that. Do I need a roll for it, or does it be something that just happens?
You just roll for it normally. What traits do you have?
Like I had Sharp-Eyed, Jaded, Hidden Depths, and Bitter.
Okay, get an extra dice for bitter. Actually, sorry, one dice less than normal for bitter.
So that cancels out the free dice.
Yeah.
Alright, so bolt. Alright.
Yes, you strike it with a bolt of magical energy, which ricochets off the bolt and then slams just like a few inches to the left of your face, whizzes past you and slams into ice behind you.
Alright, satisfied? Because I am leaving. That's it. I'm taking Norman, we're leaving.
So just leave everyone to die in the big ice thing.
I got killed by my own magic. I'm out.
As you walk out, you just hear Eladin just sitting out in front of the cave, just trying to think up a story of how we can convince people to come visit this cave.
Oh my god!
It's like rocking backwards and forwards in snow. There must be a way, there must be a way, there must be a way.
Just gonna look at my sword. I can still kill him. I can still.
Are you picking up the little pebble that you managed to knock off of it, Runic?
Yeah, I'll pick that up.
Are you just picking up with your hands, or you got gloves on or something?
I've got gloves on.
How convenient.
Well, it is pretty cold outside.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying that for atmosphere.
I don't know how he shoots his bow and arrow so accurately with those gloves on, but you know.
But his left hand would be okay because it's holding the bow up. But yes, you pick up the little pebble. I mean, it looks unremarkable. It just looks like a bit of, if for us it would look like a bit of moonstone, except for kind of more metallic. But yeah, you can just pocket that and take that with you if you want.
I'll pocket and take it with me. Really, because it was such a unique material, so I don't know if I can do something with it.
Can I sense that he has it with him?
When he leaves the cave, you can kind of sense it off him, yeah. You had mage sight as well, don't you, Drac?
No.
No?
I just got
Okay.
I got Sharp-Eyed. I ain't got mace sight.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, I don't really like I'm not curious about magic. My bolt's just like a tool. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you got like one function, that's all you need.
Yeah.
There's nothing much I can do to this thing here. So
Yes, so for you, Eldon, I mean, it sounds like that whispering, that shrieking, that begging and crying from all those voices. To you, you know, it sounds like they're coming from the cave. When you're outside, you can still kind of hear it echoing out from the cave. And as he comes walking out with this little pebble in his pocket, and you know he has a piece of it with him because you can feel it. But it almost acts like a conduit, and you can just hear like a smaller, tinier, audible version of those voices coming from that rock. And as long as he's within your like audible range, you'll always hear those voices whispering to you.
I give it like a week. He can probably ignore it for a couple of days, and then I'll start getting to him. In like a week, he'll break down.
He just acts calm, like he doesn't notice it at all. So they don't realize he knows that they have it.
I don't even think I know he has it because as soon as I did my magic, I left. I didn't even wait to see what he was doing with it.
I think I've turned it into a special arrowhead and shooting it so I can shoot through things or pierce through things that are stronger.
It'd be interesting to see if you can shape that somehow.
But yes, you just come out of the cave, trundle back, following your tracks back to the village. You don't need to roll to make camp here if you want to make camp in one of the buildings because they're already there. If you don't want frozen, well, you're going to have frozen bodies in one of them because the one that doesn't have food and bodies in it has now managed to like lump itself over and over again to try and get away from the village, and each time it does so, more and more of it kind of breaks off until it's just the structure has completely destroyed itself under its own weight from movement.
Are the frozen bodies stuck to the ground though, or could we like move the bodies to a different house to make one of the houses empty?
Yeah, I mean, if you're careful, you could just drag them out, yeah. If you don't mind, them staring up at you as you do so.
I don't care. That's their misfortune, not mine.
Just do it when they still have children in it, and I'm happy with it.
But yeah, you can easily get a fire going in one of these buildings, and it's a nice, safe, sheltered camp ready made for you.
What about? Alright, so who has like a health tick? To be honest, anyone got a health?
I have one.
I've got a health tech here.
So since this is like a ready-made camp and all that, could we stay here for a week? We just have to like make sure we could hunt and forage for supplies for
Yeah,
a week's work.
yeah, that sounds fine, man.
And I could heal up our injuries then as well. So I've got healer as a not the spell, the when it uses the healing for using stuff to heal.
I think it's easy enough to say that between all the houses, you'd be able to rummage up enough supplies to keep you going for the week without having to do like extra hunting or that.
Right, and then like I want to worry about healing. If he's been like, a week like recovering, wouldn't that just do the healing for us?
Yes, just resting up for the week will heal you. You won't be able to recover debt. You won't be able to buy, restock, because there's no one to
Right.
trade with. But you can stay here like rent free effectively for the week.
Cool, so that would just reset our injuries, our health, fatigue and cold and stuff, yeah.
So supplies, right? 'Cause you said we could scrounge up supplies, fatigue, injury, stress, and cold.
Yeah, if you do a hunt, you would just do a hunt for supplies that you normally do before you set off again.
Right.
But for the rest of it, you can restore your cold, your fatigue, you can heal your injury.
Are there any sets of armor, like for guards and stuff here?
You can roll for that one, looking for gear.
What should I roll for that? Survivalist?
Do you have peasant? No.
I don't have peasant.
I guess
I have shapeshift, heal, survivalist, orator, cook, and reanimate.
We can just let Moonic roll for it then.
Yeah, I've got peasant, so I could roll that.
you can roll peasant, and you could give him 1 dice if you want to help.
Yeah, I'll help.
Not the luck.
Yeah, no, they don't seem to have been bothered about. I mean, they're so remote. There was probably very rarely anyone here that would bother them. There doesn't seem to be any like proper military gear.
Then
I'm gonna roll.
I guess I'll just make some. Oh, I'll just make something out of the out of like firewood and or stuff around the village.
Let's try to look at the character sheet here, but the wrong one open. Yeah, I was just checking the stress, but you'll get all your stress recovered as well. The only thing would be injuries, because you would require a healing roll for that.
I'll do a wee roll for that then.
Because either
Should I
has-
use heal to try to heal the injuries before we rest?
Yeah, you can do that. Oh wait, I forgot you had healing. Yeah, over the course of a week you'd be able to heal everyone's injuries if you wanted to. And then you could just rest up between for the fatigue, so yeah, that's fine. Don't know how I forgot you
I'm
had the
going to do
spell.
one for. I'm going to do a hunt thing just to try and. Because I'm literally 1 XP off from not getting
Sure,
a
you want to
level.
do it for next time, for before you set off.
I said I need 1 more XP. That fills my XP thing up so I can get a level up. So I'm going to think if I do some hunting just now, would that apply?
Yeah, but you won't be able to hunt again before you like set off. This is you getting your supplies now.
Alright, for healing health and everything, stuff like that. Right, so this
No,
rest won't
no,
go to
no.
XP up
He's
level.
saying. I think he's saying if you do it now, when we go to do our journey, you couldn't do it then.
Yeah. So you stay for the week, you recover and all that kind of stuff, and then afterwards, mechanically, you're rolling to look for supplies.
Alright then, aye. So I won't be able to use the XP I get from NXP I get from that to.
No, you
Right.
can,
Alright,
because you're still not setting off. That's what I'm saying. But you're just doing
cool.
it. You're doing it like at time wise for the mechanics. You're doing it after all the rest stuff. So you've got all your fatigue back, all your cold and blah blah blah, and your health is healed. So you've got your full roll. But then you roll it, take 1 fatigue, and then when we come back next time, you can make the journey, and the supplies you've got from that is the supplies that you got before you left.
Alright, cool. So I've got Hunter level 4. Can't use Sharp Eye for that.
And yeah, you can use Sharp Eye for hunting. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'll help you look for supplies.
I should probably do a thing. If someone's helping, like get supplies, it means that if you succeed, you get extra supplies because there's 2 of you. I should really put that in.
And so if you succeed, you roll 2d6 instead of just 1, if you have some helping.
I'm gonna say roll 2d6 tink and probably use the best. There you go. So you get 6 supplies.
right, I'll share it out to whatchamacallit, so we get 2 each then.
Okay.
Because I assume everyone needs at least 2 each anyway.
Well, yeah, I needed 4, so I take 2.
Definitely have time over the week for anyone who wants to tell a tale to tell a tale. Or if you can't think of one, we could just not do that.
Can either of you think of one right now?
I'm thinking of a skill thing just now. To upgrade what to upgrade. I'm not sure how to upgrade maybe a peasant because that's becoming more useful in terms for fighting and stuff.
I mean, normally it's not good for fighting, but when it's self-defense, I mean, that's, I think, a peasant thing because that's a normal person just trying to stay alive.
Yeah, so I'm sort of thinking more about either peasant or upgrade dungeoneer possibly.
I mean,
Would you guys-
Dungeoneer's useful when you need it, you know what I mean? If you're in that environment, it's useful. I'm going to say that, Eldon, the entire week that you're here, you can hear those voices whispering to you, and you can also occasionally hear that low, whispering, gravelly voice also reach out to you, offering you, you know, power, riches, a longer life. If only you would make it an offering and bring people to it.
Of course, of course. Later. Later.
Imagine there's also a hint of like anger in its voice that you didn't hear the first time. But it doesn't like express to you that it's angry or anything like that.
I'm sure it'll be fine. How could this possibly backfire?
Yeah, totally.
Mm. We can pick up new skills, right? We don't have to keep.
Yeah, you can
improving
take a new one at level 1, yeah.
them. Okay. Well, I did Beastmaster since I now have an animal.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I've just upgraded Dungeoneer just in case.
Did I fail enough?
Oh, I failed plenty.
Mind if you use your trait as well, you get an XP.
I think I used my trait for most of them, didn't I?
I know you used foolhardy.
Used Cam twice. Used
Foolhardy
Foolhardy at
once.
least once, yeah.
And then I failed 4 rolls.
But Drac was in fire for most of this one.
So I don't know for a campfire story, but like when did you fail? I'm gonna say before it even began because I have such shitty luck that it seems like every time I go to do a job or begin an adventure or something like that, I always pick the shittiest time to do it.
Or else.
Storm comes in, my tool's broken. You know, I don't notice that it's in bad shape or something always happens. So my journey always fails before it ever begins.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can
have
see how that
just a-
feeds into the whole bitterness, spite, and all the rest of it.
I have just the shittiest luck of anyone I know.
I want to use my level up to add the sacrifice ritual.
Sure. Yeah, you spend time listening to this voice, conversing with it, and through it, you gain the knowledge of how to perform the ritual.
I'm sure nothing can go wrong.
Now, I just want to point out that you said the sacrifice ritual. You did not say the unfreezing ritual.
There's an unfreezing ritual?
And yeah, I'm just pointing out the choice you've made to follow here.
I think what he's saying is like even though it's not listed, you can have other kind of rituals. You
Well,
could
no, I
ask
mean,
for.
his mind has gone to the place where, oh,
Yeah.
I want to learn how to get power from it by sacrificing people, not I want to learn from it how to save these people.
Oh, we knew that the moment he touched the rock.
No, I mean, yeah, we all knew that, but I just wanted to, like, verify it and get it out there.
I'm sure it'll teach me how to do that eventually.
It's like, yeah, I'll get around to it. Stop bugging me, voices.
uh,
I think I was going to go for a wee story. Is what do you seek? And I think the policy is either my nemesis or vengeance is going to be. Because also I've been cursed by this thing, and I can't stand that children being affected or being cursed by such things. So that's why this place or this thing is just pure riled me up a lot. And just need to angrily just get things done or do something about it.
So are you saying whatever caused this is the thing that's your focus now?
I'm taking sort of a sense of vengeance, obviously, of what the thing that cursed me, what's involved, obviously, losing my daughter. But obviously, things that affect children, such like freezing them like that, it's just sort of riled up that same thing. I've just sort of associated it to being like my nemesis or like vengeance against it because it's hurt children.
Right, so it's like reinvigorated, strengthened, reinforced that feeling that you had before. Crystallized the thought of it, refined it to a point.
Yes, so that's why it's sort of a strong sense of vengeance because it's just pushing the same sort of feelings and emotions I had done in the past when that happened to me first time. When
Sure.
It happened first.
What kind of trait do you think that would bring out in you?
Fiery, I was thinking. It's quick to anger but good at stirring crowds.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, it's really got you fired up. That pain that you felt previously is like fresh again. And you're a lot quicker to anger.
So it was quite good as well for that because I got the rest of the team to follow me. All the team was go to a big den and cave fighting an evil witch.
Well, I mean, you're more persuasive when you have an arrow pointing at people.
I'm just letting you know if one of those frozen people had like reached out and touched me somehow, I was gonna leave your ass like point blank. I was, you were like one creepy thing away from happening from me leaving.
I was honestly expecting them to grab us at some point.
So, I mean, I run a lot of horror games now. It's better if you don't like have them reach out and grab, because it just leaves you with the fear of shit. When is it going to reach out and grab me?
Right. I was wondering that the whole cave trip there. I was like, someone's gonna fucking have.
I had my last session. I think it was my Cthulhu one, and this woman choked to death. She'd been missing. She came back. She was like pure mad, and she was choked to death. And he tried to put his fingers down her throat to see if something was blocking her throat.
Piercing as well.
While he put his fingers down her throat, and he could obviously feel her tongue because his fingers on top of it. But then at the end, the tip of his finger, he felt like a second tongue just like lick his fingertip.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, that was his reaction.
Hell no.
Wow.
I can picture who that was as well. Like,
Swindle, yeah. Yeah. Did Eldon want to do a fire tale?
I guess I'll do.
I don't know what trait to pick myself.
I think a
I
story and it'll come to you.
I kind of want to pick Lost, to be honest with you.
He did the story already. Oh. I mean, Lost is fitting if you're thinking, oh, I've failed every time anyway.
Yeah.
I want to think of I want to do when did I fail, but I'm trying to think of a good answer. Because he obviously just failed. He got corrupted by an evil rock.
I mean, this could be it. This could be, but, you know, you're taking a sort of third person look at it when you say that, because I don't think Eldon himself would recognise he's failed. Or maybe later he will.
Or why do you go on? He just has so much to do. He's got to prove everyone that he's the best druid.
Did you already do what do you seek?
Yeah, he seeks knowledge and power.
Okay.
I thought quick-witted, possibly. He lacks patience and planning, but he can think on his feet, so he's reacting then.
Yeah, so he's. I'm just gonna choose. I am not done.
Oh god. That's so ominous.
I need to read that one.
Let me see what traits would work.
It kind of makes sense though, because he animates everything. So like, it seems like there's some like poetic justice there. He can't let anything else be done. He's always got to reanimate everything.
Oh, I just get the idea like, I'm just getting started.
Oh yeah, he's still gotta show up everyone else in the village that he's the best druid.
And then I imagine it doesn't stop there though. It's not just the village you have to prove it to. You have to show everyone just how powerful you are.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe that's partly why Evander just sticks to like the one spell that you can use, because he knows that people that dabble in magic just end up going fucking mental.
Oh yeah, I right now I'm currently living with a very clear example of that.
How about cunning?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to start being more sort of devious about it, cunning would definitely play into it.
I've got to somehow convince people to go to a cave.
Yeah, well, that's where your orator comes into it, right?
Yeah.
Gather around me, children.
You hear the story of a cave full of treasure.
Let me take you to the promised land. The land of milk and honey. Eternal summer. Why are all these people frozen?
It's so they won't feel the cold in the winter.
Don't worry, we're going to a better place.
I wonder what he's gonna tell us when we're like, why are all these people like following you? Why are we headed back to that town? Oh,
They're the new settlers.
Yeah, I hope we'd help them settle there. You know.
I'm rebuilding the town slowly.
I'm just doing my civic duty. You know.
Don't mind the army of
Right, so-
constructs carrying people to the cave.
Oh,
Those are doctors.
Look how close we are to the lake now as well.
That's where our goal is, isn't it? That's where the last sun was sort of seen.
5 days will get you. 5 days walking will get you to the shoreline.
And then we're at get to the last outpost to see if we can find any information of where he's gone. Although technically he'd be one of the frozen people in this whole entire block place.
Well, this was where the trader had met Thurin. Was at this village when he told him he was going east.
Yeah, so this didn't happen until recently.
Yeah, within the last 2 weeks, at least.
She must have found the stone and touched it, and then used her magic to freeze everyone. Or the cave, or the mountain was always there.
Yeah, I mean, during the week, the mountain is still there, so it doesn't, like, disappear. In case that was a question. Yeah, but I think that'll do us for this session. That was a good one.
Unexpected for that one. I was very unexpected.
Oh my lord.
If you shoot someone with that rock, can I sacrifice them? I wonder how that would work.
You
So
know,
basically become like an unwitting pawn to your thing. You'll just keep make sure you recover that arrow all the time.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was gonna like steal the rock from you, and then like he could send people to that mountain as like part of his orator speech. You know, go settle that village. But then he'd always have a link to the rock in his hand, so he could always like, okay, sacrifice him, and give me the power.
I'm sending you 2 more.
Well, I was thinking either that, or I just put it on a staff and just stab people with it.
You'll be like, I'm healing you. Ow. I'm healing you. Ow. You're now all sacrificed. Ow.
Touches them with the staff to heal them, and they just, like, necrotize.
They were not worthy.
They turn to dust, and they're just like... Pff. No more pain for you.
It's the cure to everything.
So this will get rid of my aching knee. Oh, you won't feel a thing.
You won't feel a thing after I'm done with you.
Dust them.
I'm gonna steal that rock from you.
God, these are so terrible, man. I mean, one person far more than the others, I will say, but none of them are, like, nice people.
Hey, at least I'm not just killing people in their sleep. Actually, I don't even think Illidan has killed anyone yet.
I haven't killed anybody either. Thank you very much. The only thing I'm torturing is a poor rhinoceros so far.
No comment.
At the most, Illidan has just done property damage.
But isn't
And-
that... Sorry, there you go.
And mental scarring.
Isn't that the way, though? The most, like, self-righteous, save the children type is the one who's actually killed people.
If they're dead, they can't hurt the children.
Exactly.
I'm only doing it for justice. As he kills another man in his sleep.
The only person I might kill in this campaign will be Illidan when he finally snaps, and I can't trust him to not sacrifice me.
Well, you killed the old women. You just did it by proxy with the rhinoceros.
Well, as long as I don't get hit, because if I remember right, I can cast shield and it just stays there until I get hit, and then I roll for it.
Oh no, don't worry, buddy. I wouldn't fight you like heads up. Don't worry. You be sleeping or something when I try.
You're going, hush, little child, don't worry here. Don't notice the dagger going through your throat.
You just sneak up on me, and then whatever building we're in just grabs you.
Just look at the
We
flowers,
wouldn't-
Elodin.
I definitely wouldn't do it in the building either.
So then I've got to bring your weapons to life.
Just Eldon, he needs to transform into a squirrel. Don't worry, we're not going to hurt you in this squirrel form.
He doesn't need a chance to run to a squirrel. That'd make my job too easy. I'll just take watch and then have Woman step on him.
I do like it that basically we all have a plan in the end that Eldon must die.
Only if he starts sacrificing people, and I can no longer trust that I'm safe.
Oh, don't worry. You won't notice that they're being sacrificed.
Don't worry, you will notice.
I'm bitter. I'm a bitter, jaded, skeptical person. I look for the lies even when they're not there.
Exactly.
So don't worry. You don't have to sacrifice people. I just have to think you're sacrificing people.
I'll just tell you exactly what I'm doing, and you're so paranoid that you won't believe me.
But are you so jaded that you just don't care? Is the question.
As long as I'm not sacrificing children.
Oh, I don't care
You
about
can picture it
children.
now, the last outpost,
not me.
they sleep over. So I was going to say, what I can picture now is the last outpost, we're sleeping the night before we leave, all the people seem to suddenly disappear.
I wonder what happened.
But yeah, that was this week. So regular time next Sunday. Does anyone foresee any issues?
No issues for me. No.
Next week, no. The week after, maybe for me. Depends if I'm moving or not that day. I'll let you know when it gets closer, though.
Cool. All right, I'll get you guys next week then.
All right, later.
Cool.
See ya.
See you.